Woo. Link's gonna be in the comments. Link's gonna be in the comments for anyone who would like to join this discussion tonight. It's been a spicy week on the airwaves on YouTube, as you guys know what's going on. And if you're gonna come up and talk and chop it up, I'll ask that you show your face. Everybody's welcome. Passport bros, feminists, expats, whoever. Let's get to it. Uh, I'm not gonna go into detail, but all of you guys have been tracking what's been going on here in my current home of Brazil with Austin and with the black feminist reporter and all this stuff, and everybody's getting on YouTube to do their reactions and to bash the kid and blah blah blah. Passport bros this, passport that. Listen, I'm not here to defend either passport bros or feminazis. I'm just here to set the record straight of the do's and don'ts for what led to this whole fiasco. So, like I said, StreamYard link is in there. Anybody want to come chime in? But let's get to it. Quick shakedown, right? Austin did a video, and where was he? In Salvador, Brazil, with a young woman, beautiful young woman, and he was talking about the attractiveness of a Brazilian woman finds a man and blah blah. What happens there? Listen up. We're all adults, and it's insane, right? How this just blew up. My problem with what Austin did, because I'm not gonna come here and say I didn't have a problem. My problem with what he did was the way he worded things, right? Oh, in his video, are Brazilian women easy? Now, if the women were to take offense to that, I'd be like, all right, they have a valid point. Because I've come up on this channel before, ladies and gentlemen, and I've spoken to you on the Brazilian culture, how they are probably the most open-minded people in all of Latin America. They don't tiptoe around the shit that we used to do in the States. They don't beat around the bush like you may find in the Dominican culture or the Puerto Rican culture or even in the Colombian culture. No, Brazilians are the most open-minded people in Latin America, from my experience. But the interview was cool. Got down to it. My only problem was the wording. Oh, Brazilian women are easy, right? Because what does that do? That puts the meat out for the hyenas, right? We know who the hyenas are. The women in the States who are arguing and crying and screaming and all this stuff, that all the men are getting their passports and they're going abroad to find their wives, to start their family, and leaving the women behind in the US with their dildos and no financial security, right? What Austin did that I hate was, number one, you put a target on a place I just moved to, on a place I just got my residency. You put a target on Brazil. And the wording. Other than that, interview was cool. It was expected. Women are very open-minded here and honest. That's what I love about it. Let's get to the person who put out the article and did all this hoorah, I'm going to the embassy by this and that. Actually, no, because that's part of the list of the do's and don'ts. But you guys can share this with your passport bros or anybody who agrees or don't agree, and we're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk. So let's get to some comments. Garden Scientist, my guy, what's good, bro? Rob, what's good with you? He says, "Hello, Chopper. Glad to see you. You're too mature to get rolled up in stupidness." Yeah, bro. Listen, I stayed quiet, and Rob, the only reason why I'm here is because of the target it put in Brazil, right? And I'm trying to stop the deja vu from happening because I feel like it was the same target that ended up happening in the Dominican Republic, right? That negative target where everybody's just gonna grab their passport, flock down there, whatever. I'm trying to live low key here, man. Listen, I be telling y'all, like Dre be telling you, like, yo, if you're not in the right mindset, don't even come to Brazil. This is home. This is the only reason why I'm speaking on it, and I'm not rolled up in the stupidness. Like I said, was his interview with the women wrong? My opinion, no. Him wording it and putting it out to be a certain type of way, yes. That's the issue I had with Austin. But let me get to these comments. Start off the show correct, how we always do. And like I said, StreamYard link is in the bio. If anybody want to come chop it up, drop their input. And let's get to it. Jeremy, what's good, bro? I think it's been a minute since I seen you on the live streams. What's going on? He said Austin is a kid, man. He's young and makes mistakes. I can't give him the kid comment because at 23 I was in the military doing the same shit as 40-year-olds. I can't give him the kid comment. I will say there are experiences that he may have lacked that could have saved him from all of this. Keymaker, what's going on? You know why I got this ugly Bills hat on, baby? Let's go Buffalo. It was an ugly win. You could say that. It was an ugly win. But we pulled it out. I'll see y'all next Sunday. Let's go Buffalo. Profe, buon noche. Hopefully you could jump up in the live stream. Let me know what's going on. And this is exactly what I mean, bro. I don't want the bottom of the barrel flocking to Brazil. Listen, y'all can flock to the other places y'all already messed up. But please don't touch Brazil. Don't think, and that's what I didn't want the world travelers, the Passport Bros group, right, to get from that Austin video. I gotta flock to Brazil to get my dick wet. No. We've already seen what happened when you flock to these countries with that mindset. Y'all suck the Dominican Republic, sinking Colombia, if it's not sunk already. Y'all messing up Thailand, going to Thailand, throwing dollars up in the air. Don't do that in Brazil. Because number one, people will look at you silly and do that shit in the wrong parts, especially like Rio. That'll probably be the last time you ever throw anything up. So that's exactly what it is, bro. I don't want that bottom of the barrel mentality coming to my home. This is my home. I just got my residency here. Like, chill out. Bia, what's going on? He says Austin was trying to be the next Kevin Samuels, except that he had no substance and experience. Cockiness is never a good strategy. I agree. And this is my problem, right? And we're gonna all make this list together. I want to see if I could share my notes, maybe. No, I can't share notes specifically. All right, we'll see what we could do where I could write down these things. But without further ado, let's start off the show with some heat. What's going on, y'all, on this evening's episode of Chop Up on TV? Make sure you guys like the video on your way in, on your way out. Like I said, if anybody wants to come chime in, you are more than welcome to. I appreciate it. Just show your face, and that's it. Like I said, we just covered up a little bit about what's going on with Austin, and I wasn't gonna make any reaction video to the guy. He made a mistake, a dumb one. I'm not going to make any reaction video to the bitter women who are reacting to him. None of that. But I'm here to set the record straight. Number one, I'm setting the record straight because I hate bullying, right? So basically, right now, the whole internet feminist movement, bitter dudes who can't travel or are unhappy in their marriage are bullying this 23-year-old kid, right? He's 23 years old, but his mistakes are those of the kid. So you need to cut that out. And that's why I said, you know what, instead of just making it look like I'm picking a side, even though I spoke my piece, nothing was wrong with Austin's video. I had a problem with his wording. I'm going to give you guys the do's and don'ts when traveling to said countries, because we know that young brother didn't have his do's and don'ts list. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Because you guys don't see Chapapa TV here in Brazil making mistakes like that. Y'all don't see Philly Dom in Rio making mistakes like that. It's something that comes with experience, and I hate to say it, common sense. Experience and common sense. All right, do's and don'ts, right? Do's and don'ts. And if you guys have any you want to add to the list, let me know. So let me share this screen, right? My Chapapa do's and don'ts for South America. Let me know if you guys can see that. Number one, and I know you guys always say, is it really that important? Number one, learn the language of where you're going. Understand the language of where you're traveling to. And that's right, BL. Let's get them likes up. Thank you for the super chat, first super chat tonight. You guys don't be shy. To help the channel out. Like the videos, liking the videos is free. I want to hit the cash up right there. Number one, understand the language. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. It's tiny as shit right now. Number list. I don't know how to make this bigger right now. But anyways, learn the language. A lot of you guys are going to these places, right? And you're being summoned there by the booty. And you don't care about anything else that comes with that. You're putting yourselves in danger. Believe it or not. I myself can't understand how someone would want to go to a remote part of Ecuador or Brazil or Dominican Republic, Colombia, and you don't understand what's going on around you, good or bad. Good example, right? You could go to a cafe, a restaurant, and then a group of people could be talking about you, or some ladies could be talking about, like, hey, that guy over there is cute, or he look like he's not from here. I'm curious that this and that. You can hear that going on. Or you can hear guys who are like, hey, there's this gringo here in shorts and whatever at this restaurant. Pull up. When he leave, we rob him. Whose fault is that? Yours. A lot of you don't take the initiative to better yourself as expats or travelers. With number one right here, understanding the language. You mean to tell me all you can pull out of your hat is a hello? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo você está? Number two on the list, right? Let's tie this into our friend Austin. We have got to be better as company on their turf. What do I mean by being better as company on their turf, right? Earlier in the live, I called Brazil my home, but I'm not Brazilian. I'm not from Brazil, but I live here now, full time. Get this. I have my residency now, right? I don't have to do the 180 days in South America and 180 days out of South America. And you know what that means? While I'm here, I gotta be on my P's and Q's. I gotta be on my shit. What do I look like acting up, calling attention to myself as a foreigner? And that's the problem that social media has done to a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys are chasing like that spotlight, that clout, that gleam, that look at me, look at where I'm at, look at what I'm doing. And y'all know who I'm talking about, the money chasers or the posting the stories with 20 pieces of ass on a boat, whatever. Whatever happened to the days of just being low key? If that's your thing, cool. But whatever happened to the days of if I don't see it, I don't speak on it? Number two is where Austin messed up. Austin messed up on number two. Granted, he was going around Brazil, living his best life, doing his thing with his boys. You know, the YouTube money is coming in, popularity is coming in. So be it. But understand people who want to move like Austin, because y'all all over the place on YouTube. Y'all in Colombia, y'all in DR. Understand when you go to these places and you pull out your camera or you're throwing money in the air or you acting like you back in the hood with your homeboys. This ain't Kansas anymore. You are not in Kansas anymore. You are on their turf. Fix this. You are on their turf. So be good company. That's where Austin messed up. Austin messed up by coming to Brazil, not knowing anything about the culture, doing it for the likes. I get it. The subs coming fast, the likes coming fast, the money coming fast. You feel you gotta keep it going. But listen, man. Not only are you putting a target, like I said, on my crib, you put a target on yourself. I'm gonna give you guys a little story on what I realized when I first moved to Brazil, right? And why I didn't fall into the Austin trap, and why on Chop About TV is not really a booty trap. And I've thought about it. I'm like, yeah, I've seen how, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm sorry, I'm going off the rant real quick. I'm gonna get to these comments. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When I first started in Dominican Republic, bro, nobody was touching Santiago. I mean, nobody. Y'all had Puerto Plata, y'all had Cav 24 in Puerto Plata, y'all had Flip Flop in Puerto Plata, y'all had Taylor Made Dreams. Nobody was touching Santiago. And then when I see other YouTubers blowing up all off the same time, I'm like, I could do that. I could do that, no problem, because I live here. But honestly, would I have peace after that? What kind of peace of mind would I have after that to put that big of a target? Because some of them YouTubers had problems in DR, but they didn't get online to tell y'all. The booty bait videos. But y'all don't see what goes on behind the scenes. Right? So I stayed away from that. Back to my story, right? when I first get to Brazil, when I first came to Brazil like last year, this is why rule number one is important to understand the language. I'm on Tinder, right? I'm on Tinder, I'm swiping and I'm reading bios. I'm reading the women's bios, right? And not all of them, you know what's the first word that I saw that grabbed my attention, even though my Portuguese wasn't great at the time? This word right here. Feminista. Feminista or feminist, right? On Tinder, let me get to these comments before I go on. Ross said, when I was in Brazil in December, I had two beautiful women offer to take me wherever I wanted to go. They were very kind. Yes, Brazilians are very kind. And people get that messed up. Just like where you used to think, like, oh, this girl is very nice to me. She wants to give up the ass. No, Brazilians are very kind. There should definitely be more than 9 likes right now, fellas. Let's go. And ladies, if ladies are here. He said, I'm honestly embarrassed for some of these dudes who have been in the country for months and can only say hello, good night, and thank you. Only chasing prostitutes. For fairness, BL says, for fairness, Austin did that. He actually picked up the language quite fast. I was impressed. Okay, cool. Doing for the likes, but leave Brazil. BL says, can you increase the phone? Yeah, let me try and increase the phone right now. I got Profe down Omar in the building. Profe, what's good with you? But you gotta unmute your mic.
Hey, boa noche, irmão, tudo bem?
Yo, what's good with you, bro? Can you guys hear Profe? Profe, you sound a little low on my end. Let me see.
Uh, hey, give me a second here, man. Look, I'm not I'm not in the pad at the in the lab in the studio, so I'm TDY right now. If you understand what I'm talking about.
Nah, you good, bro. Do your thing.
All right, so yeah, I wanted to jump in, bro. Oh, you increased the font. I know somebody was asking about that, so. Uh, Man, I was trying to read, drive, do it all, listen, but I'm here now. I'm in the building.
All right, let's get it.
And
So, Profe, yeah, give the people your thoughts real quick.
so, and I've given my thoughts. I gave them last weekend on Tobias the Traveler's channel about Austin. And I'm not knocking the guy at all. You know, hey man, you got to live and learn, right? Joe Public told us best, right? And some of us have opinions that are negative because not everybody, but there are people out here that have opinions that are negative about Austin because they're not in his shoes and they wish to be in the place that he is in. Does that make sense?
Right.
And it's easy to be negative when you're envious of someone. Okay. So that's number one for me. Number two, yes, as you have said, as we have all stated, there was nothing wrong with the video. There was nothing wrong with the interviews. It was the wording that needed to be cleaned up. We all have to remember that YouTube, you don't own YouTube. You have a YouTube channel. You are renting out a YouTube channel from YouTube. You are a tenant in this place. You still must govern yourself accordingly while you are renting out this space. So some of the things that you want to say, and I think Philly Don brought up a perfect example in a interview that he was doing with, I think it was Renata. I think it was Renata, Brazil. I don't know if you catch her stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
he did an interview with her, and I thought it was so tactful. And I dropped it in our chat. You know what I mean? I dropped it in the chat, and I was like, "Bro, this is how it's supposed to be done." But you live and learn as you get older. Um, And you know, like I said, we can't. No, he's not a kid. We can't say he's a kid. He's 23. You were in the military, you know, at 23, 18. Some of us, you know, get in the military at 17, 18. They give you a AR-15 or whatever they give you, all the machine guns. You know what I'm saying? They, you know, you get one of those joints. Like, you are defending the country. You are now a man. You got to put you got to put away the little boy stuff, and now you've got to defend your nation and the honor of your nation outside of the United States for a lot of people, right? So for us to say, oh, you know, he's only a kid, nah, I can't give him that. That's not the mistake. Age is nothing but a number, right? That's what Aaliyah told us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about the age, it's about the experience that you have at a certain age. And if you don't have a lot of experience at a certain age, you're going to mess up. And it's okay to mess up. It's totally okay to mess up. So real quick, I don't want to take over your live, bro, but I'm gonna give you like just a couple of things that I would say. What are the do's and don'ts? And so while we're jumping into this, I started studying abroad at the age of 18. Okay, I didn't go the military route, although I had traveled prior to studying abroad, but this was me on my own as a young man, right? And these are the top 5 things I would say you've got to know prior to leaving the States. Number 1, you've got to know what is your why. Why are you going overseas? You've got to have a plan, right? If you don't have a plan, you plan to fail. So you got to know what your why is. Why are you going overseas? If you are going for women, hey, man, ain't nobody knocking you for that. Do you, bro? Rock out what you out. You know what I'm talking about? Nothing wrong with that. But make sure you have that plan, and then let's diagram. Let's go into that plan and understand, okay, well, this is my plan. Okay, you're going to a country where English is not the native language, right? So number 2, know the language. You've already said that is your number 1. That is number 1, right? Absolutely. And for my number 3, I guess it would be, for my number 3 would be dive deeply, do a deep dive into the culture and the traditions of that country.
Mm-hmm. And I my list also.
Culture and the traditions of that country. Okay. Why do I say that? How do you expect to move? And this was a thing during COVID, right? Like, I'm gonna teach you how to move, right? If you don't know how to move, I can, you know, we all know Greg was hitting them up like, you can pay me, you know, $29.99 and I'll show you how to move. That was the thing during COVID, right? And that's a big thing. You've got to know how to move in these foreign countries. You know, Latin America, heavy Catholicism. If you're not Catholic, you got to think about that. Okay, what's the terms of Catholicism? Research that. Like, how deep did they go into this religion thing? What is, you know, if we're talking about Brazil, we got to think about candomblé, right? What is the ATRs? When I say ATRs, the African tribal religions that they follow. What are some of the gods that they worship? Orisha, you know, the Yoruba gods, right? We've got a Yemen, what is it, Yemena or Yama? Yeah, Yemena, right? You got to know this ATRs because Brazil is heavily populated with Afro Brasileiros, right? So you got to know that. My number 4 would probably be to surround yourself quickly with locals. Get involved with the locals. Know who is moving where. And I don't mean like befriend people like on the street, like, hey, man, I need to hang out with somebody. I got to, you know, blah. I'm not talking about that. I'm like, literally put yourself out there in the limelight as I'm here, I'm present. You see me, I see you. Let's get on a pathway of communication so that I don't look and stand out like a sore thumb. So you want to make local friends as quickly as possible. These are simple rules of engagement. You know this, right? Rules of engagement, right? You
Mhm.
want to befriend so-called the enemy, right? You want to get these, and I was never in the military, but I grew up from a military background, right? And that is true. BL brings a good point.
Mm-hmm. And I wanna sorry to cut you off, bro. I
No,
wanna
no,
finish the point, right? To get to BL's point. And I know a lot of you guys are like, yeah, I don't what Profe saying is true if you're gonna stay long term. A lot of guys like, man, Profe, I'm only there a week. I don't have the time to learn about the religions, the gods. Or I understand that, but that doesn't mean you still can't do number 5 and number 6, right? Going back to my story about where I learned I was for the first time. So I'm on Tinder swiping and I'm reading these girls' bios, and the word feminist came up a lot, like hashtag feminist or hashtag whatever. And I'm like, okay, this is a little bit different from the rodeo I'm accustomed to in DR and Colombia, because from our experience in the States, right? 75% of you guys, probably 80, leave the States because of that feminist energy going on, right? So for you to not understand where you're going, like Prophet said, to not have a plan before you're going, and this is what Austin did wrong. Austin came to Brazil and he treated Brazil like the DR, knowing that without knowing that here, that shit does not fly, right? So what's going on in Brazil politically? Politically, they have some presidential issues going on, right? Bolsonaro was just elected out, Lula's elected in. A lot of people don't like that. But a lot of people, especially women, will tell you, hey, Bolsonaro's a sexist, he's a racist, all these things. I don't know if Austin knew any of that.
research, bro. That's what I'm talking
Research.
about.
And,
Researching where you're going prior to getting there.
and
You
I
got to
want
do
to add,
reconnaissance. You got to do reconnaissance.
read the crowd, because for me, what I did right there with just Tinder, yeah, I didn't know anybody. With just Tinder and just seeing that one word come across, I was like, oh, I know I can't act this way. I know I gotta watch what I say and how I move. Like, okay, the feminazis are around. All right, cool. Y'all got it. This is y'all turf. I'ma respect that. This is y'all turf. Y'all move all y'all want. I'm just gonna find people who don't move like y'all. That's why the Stephanie chick, I don't like what she did. And the only reason why it blew up like this Profe is because she has a bigger following than Austin. About 10,000 more followers than Austin.
Well, yeah, I mean, you poking the bear at the end of the day. You know, like you said, they got the presidential situation going on. They're already upset about that. Here you come, you know, out not you per se, but you as a person that comes in here, kind of following along the lines, like you said, that he's known to be a sexist, a racist, and then here you come, taking advantage of women, right? So they say in
Mm-hmm.
their in their eyes, that's what you were doing.
Right.
Of
And
course, in American eyes, we're like, yo, this is common. This is what we see on social media. These questions are asked all the time. These questions are asked in our daily walks in the States. But we have
mhm.
to understand that you are not in the States. You know, that's a big thing. Um, and let me go ahead and let you go back to what you were saying. I just wanted to interject that real quick.
Yeah. So what BL says that well, his mistakes is how he generalized people, and if that was the writer, the person who's raising the pitchfork, Stephanie's problem, like yo, you can't just come here to Brazil and call everybody easy. Da, da. I would be like, yo, you know what, lady, you got your thing, but she came out with the words, oh, I'm black, feminist, da, da, this and that. First off, Austin is black also. I don't know what that has to do with things. So that you cancel out yourself right there. Feminist movement, powerful, this, all that. Prophet, Austin was wrong in his wording.
That's it.
Our Brazilian women easy.
And I
And
think
for
he knows that.
and for me personally, and I'm gonna say this on my channel because I could give two flying shits, but the women who are mad at Austin here, they're picking the wrong fight with the wrong person. They're fighting with the wrong person. Not to say that Austin's gonna bring the fight back to them or he got lawyers and that, but they're literally if they're mad about the gist or the direction of the interview, hey, if a woman likes you, it's very possible that she'll kiss you the first time. Listen, kissing here is as common as shaking hands the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Understand the culture where you're at.
That's a lot of countries.
But if she's mad at that, I'm like, yo, you need to be holding your pitchfork in front of the brothels, in the favelas, in Rio, because here, like in other places in Latin America, you have the oldest trade in the world, which is selling ass. Selling ass is the oldest trade in the world, right? And like I said, back to Austin, because he's not innocent. He wrongly pointed the gun at a group or at a country in general, saying, yeah, man, everybody here sells ass, when that's not the case. But for me, I'm calling out the author like, hey, if you're going to attack him, you need to go attack these establishments because there's some establishments here, Profe.
4x4, baby.
Yo, there's some like 5-star high-end shit where you could go to a 4-story level building that has a 5-star restaurant, a bar, a game room, and walking all around as hookers, and it's legal.
And I just want to push this a little further. Those establishments, who have they been frequented by prior to? Because black men were not traveling in droves to Brazil. American black men.
Oh.
So I wonder who were the people that were frequenting those establishments prior to African American black men. Rhetorical question. No need to answer it.
We know.
Oh, we all know.
But and this is my thing. This is another thing. This is why I love these types of arguments, right? If anybody feels any type of way what I'm saying, you're more than welcome to come up. But if she's all about women empowerment and women movement, which I'm all for, like I said, she's fighting the wrong fight right now. If anything, Profe, even though Austin was wrong, selling sex is legal in Colombia, Brazil. Isn't she taking money out of the women's mouths that she's so-called fighting for?
Uh-oh. You about to step on some toes, baby.
I'll put my Timbs on and step on them. I'll put my Timbs on. Isn't she by her saying y'all don't come here to buy sex?
What?
Right. So now what's gonna happen to those women who get dressed and they wake up and they go and they're standing on their feet all night and they're working to try to get home to feed their families, their babies?
You're taking the feijoada out for their tables.
She's not thinking about that.
You taking the move? Yeah, she's not thinking about the money, the feijoada and the carne and all that. You're taking off the tables for these people who are now boom, bada bing. We in a situation right now. This is a ding ding situation. The way we turn this around is somebody with boots on the ground, bars, is out there talking to these women, saying, "Hey, what are your thoughts about the woman that's saying what Austin Holloman did?" Now she's saying, hey, get all of these, foreigners out of here. Make it harder for them to get in here. Make them have to get visas again. And if you do that, right?
Bro, it's already hard for us to be here.
Right.
Us as Americans, we're only allowed to be in some countries in South America for 6 months out of the year.
Okay. Unless you got a visa or some type. Yeah,
unless you have a visa. But a tourist visa, you're only allowed 180 calendar days.
Right.
So that's my issue with her, right? She's picking the wrong fight. And I'm going to get these comments because somebody just had an interesting comment.
Man, there's a couple, man, and I want to go ahead. Let's take a pause for the calls, man, and go ahead and get to your comments, man, because I know the
Let me
people
get,
aren't here to see me and you talk back and forth.
so let me
Let's
get to
let's bring everybody in.
Ross says women in Brazil are assertive and feminista includes women of African descent, whereas in the West, feminism historically was a white women's movement. Two different meanings. Thank you for that, Ra. Perfect example of a brother who knows where he's going.
He's got a why. That's a why. He knows some background information. He knows that reconnaissance prior to getting into that country. And he brought up another thing. He said, how do you meet locals? Right? I think that was his next point. How do you make local friends? I right hand to the man. And Chopper Pie, you can tell him, from your own experience, because you've been not only where did you PCS to outside of the States?
I didn't PCS anywhere outside the States.
Okay, so you were in the States your entire time in the military.
Right.
Okay. So for example, you had to move, somewhere like Afghanistan. Like that was a different situation. Let's take that back. Let's say you were in Germany or the Netherlands or, England or whatever, right? And you're based there. Everybody goes out on the economy, right? That's one of the things that we do on the weekends as GIs or whatever. They go out. Now, granted, you are in the military, so you have to hold yourself accountable for certain things. You're not moving like a civilian. However, if you are a civilian like me, that was living on the economy, and when I mean on the economy for my people that aren't military background, that means like you live amongst the locals. You don't live on base. Okay, so when you're living on the economy, you can either walk around with your nose to the ground, avoiding the locals, or everybody's not an extrovert. I'm an extrovert, super extrovert, right? I'm gonna talk to any and everybody that comes my way. If that's not you, cool. Me, on the other hand, whether they know English, German, Swedish, whatever the language is, I'm gonna make the attempt to speak that language. I don't care if I got 50,000 mistakes in a 2-word or a 3-word statement, but I'm going to make it where it seems like I'm trying to adapt to where I am, right? And when people see that everywhere overseas, yeah, they might laugh at you, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Who cares, bro? At the end of the day, none of them are paying your bills, right? You just out here trying to say, hey, man, I'm here. I'm trying to meet people. This is my name. This is who I am. This is where I'm from. Usually when you give that information and you can say that in 2 or 3 lines in that language, or you can even ask, hey, what's your name in that language, or do you speak English? You're doing a lot more than the person that comes in there like, man, I don't speak this, blah, blah, blah. You got the negative attitude, blah, 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 this and that and the third. Who likes that? I don't even like when people come in here like, don't talk to me. I don't speak English. Like if they're in the States, you know what I mean? So the making, yeah. I know, I know. That's why I said, let me break it down a little bit, right? I said like everybody understand that military jargon. I understand it. Yeah, respect. But to my man Rod's question, how do you make local friends? I just put myself out there. And you got to be okay. If you already got on a plane to travel somewhere, you already put yourself out there. Nobody knows you like you know you, right? When you get off that plane, you can reinvent yourself. You might be an introvert in the States, but you can be an extrovert when you get on vacation, baby. A couple of, rum chatas or a couple of, caipirinhas or, Cuba Libres, man, hey. And if you don't drink, I respect, but I drink. I'm not going to lie. But, so when you get out here, man, it relaxes. Just relax. You on vacation. Meet as many people as you possibly can prior to leaving. And why do I say that? I have made friends for life because I knew a few words of a language when I got there. And they were like, oh, I'm going to take him under my wing. I'm going to take him here. Man, I had people take me to their parents' house the second day I met them, I mean, I'm studying abroad in Guadalajara. I met a chick that was working at the wine bar. And she was like, hey, you want to come hang out with me? I'll take you to dinner tomorrow or lunch tomorrow, and then you can have dinner at my family's house afterwards. Second day, bro. Like in the States, bro, I ain't going nowhere near your family. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if y'all trying to set me up. You know how we got that hood mentality. Like, bro, this ain't a good look. I would never do. But you do it, and you're like, bro, it's nothing like the States. You know what I mean? Nothing like the States.
Nah, perfect. So for me, if you want to make local friends, it depends where you hang out at and the time you can invest here. But what I want to get to back to the Stephanie Arthur chick, because she's not innocent. Shout out to Telemade Dreams TV in the house, tuning in from Thailand. Knows more time over there. What's good? Love you as always. So German had an interesting comment. Let me see if I can find it.
Ooh, Jermon. Oh yeah.
He said the fact that she said literally you gringos need to go home, but you other Americans are fine. Gringos, in her example, are black men, and Americans are non-black men. To be honest, Prophet, that statement confused me also.
Yeah, I saw that on Taylor Made yesterday. Yeah.
Who is she talking to? Because if you're talking to gringos as a whole, but you other Americans,
we all know what she's talking about, bro. We all know what she's talking about.
No, what's she talking about?
Man, we know Brazil is super racist, bro. We're not even gonna lie about it.
She's black. She's black, Prophet.
Bro, they don't believe they black. Prophet. They don't believe they black, bro.
Prophet. The website, the article is always called Mundo Negro. That's literally black world.
Mundo Negro.
So somebody explain to me, please. How is she separating gringos like Austin and other Americans? Where do I fall in that category? Where does Rue fall in that category, or Mike from Australia, or any of the Americans living here in Brazil? Where do we fall in that? Which other Americans are fine? Mm-hmm. What did they do? Mm-hmm. What did they do to be fine, Stephanie? Mm-hmm. That I don't get.
And that's the question that Taylor Made wants to pose to her.
And she goes on to say she knows not to box above her weight class, aka the 50%. Listen, she knew to pick that fight with Austin because number one, he's young, and the goal.
Is she a lawyer?
Huh?
Is she a lawyer?
No, she's an architect.
Oh, she's an architect. Interesting.
She's an architect and like some journalist person, right?
Okay.
But she picked that fight because he's young, easy
target,
age, probably easily rattled.
Yeah, easy target.
And here for the ass. Let's be honest. Here for the ass. Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But my problem is now.
It's never been wrong.
And my problem is the bullying, like I said, the internet bullying going on, because now you got them hyenas in the Matrix pouncing on this man like a piece of meat. They was already mad before last year when Passport Bros made the moves and started taking over TikTok. Man, this is why I hate social media, bro. They was already mad last year. I remember somebody came on my live like, all you brothers are leaving and go over states and getting happy relationships and getting married and moving. What about the community? What about the women here?
Hey man, they gonna lie. They gonna die on that hill, bro.
And fuck the community. What the community is doing for my happiness?
Right.
Shit. If anything, that's more community space for y'all.
Yo, hey man, that's the last leg of defense. It's the last leg of defense. Well, I totally agree.
So you have that, right? Why are women getting involved? Brazilian women, fine. Why are women in America getting involved?
Because they mad too, bro. Tell them why you mad, son. Everybody mad, bro. They mad, bro.
And this is what I want to add this to the list, right?
I want to add one too while you add it.
Being watched.
Right. Yes.
Love and people. I don't. I talk about this all the time on the channel.
By people who love and people who hate.
Mm-hmm.
But people who hate.
Sorry. I talk about this all the time on the channel, y'all. Energy is real. You could be on a vacation on an island, having a time of your life, and then boom, something like some wave of bad juju hits you out of nowhere. Why? Because y'all posting on the internet. Listen, y'all, ain't not everybody's gonna be happy for your happiness. Not everybody's gonna be happy for your success. Some shit is only worth sharing with a few people, unless it's your job, unless you're like 100% vlogger. This is your way of life. This is your way of living. Not everybody's going to send you good energy, right? You're always being watched. And this is what's going on right now with them hyenas in the States. Why are women doing reaction videos to this? Why are women interviewing Stephanie?
Bro, everybody wants a piece of the fame, bro. You know what it is. This ain't new. It's not new.
And this is what I mean by you being watched. And this is why I also don't agree with, I don't like what Austin did, right? I don't consider myself a passport, bro. I'm an expat. I don't need to take vacations. But they were already waiting for a fuck up. Oh, y'all leaving to get married. Y'all leaving for fit, feminine, and kind. Y'all leaving because y'all not getting back talk 5 hours away on a flight. They was waiting for a fuck up.
That brings up an interesting line that, and, you know, I hate to, you know, resort to rap, but rap has a lot of lyrics that actually mean things. And there was a line back in the day that somebody said, "Move like the G in lasagna," right? Why your moves got to be plastered across the social media websites and platforms? Move silently, right? You ain't got to tell people why you leaving. It's gonna rile up people. I mean, I can see, you know, if you're looking for that type of effect, you want that effect, cool. But you better own all of it. Don't own like why they jumping on me. Like, bro, you said what you said. You didn't think somebody was gonna jump on you after you said that? Like, let's be real. But move like the cheese in lasagna. I've always lived by that. I don't want nobody knowing where I am. But when I do videos or when I take pictures, I say, "Oh, where is he?" Blah blah blah. This and the third. But you're not gonna see me out here wilding panini, you know, acting a fool, disrespecting people. Yes, sir, Joseph Stewart. I ain't want to say it, you know, but you know, we're doing a little trivia quiz, a little trivia night here tonight. Shout out to Joseph Stewart. But that's one of the points I wanted to add to this one. And technically it should be number one. And can we, because I'm about to blow your brains out with this one right here.
Yeah, let me shout out to the super chat. Shout out to Teleme Drees for the super chat. I appreciate you. And shout out to Andre Love Crossing Borders. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel if you haven't already. But go ahead. Let's keep adding to this list.
All right, here we go. Here we go. This is the one. Leave your U.S. mindset in the U.S. You might not even be able to type that before the internet explodes right now, brother. Leave your U.S. mindset in the U.S. When you get on that plane, you cross these waters, baby, it's a different game out here. It's a different game. So I like that. That's technically my number one. And don't bring that over here.
I be telling them, Prophet, like, listen, your drama, your bullshit should not be in your check bag under the plane as you go to these other countries.
Come on.
Leave that shit at home.
I remember when you couldn't open your phone up because you couldn't get the international data plan. There was no such thing. And so your phone was off. You either had to have a burner that you had a SIM card for in that country, or that was it. Or if you opened your phone up, it was like back when Orange, I don't even remember that, when Orange and Bell South was around, yo. The minutes that it would charge you on an international call, bro, you didn't want the problems. So what you do? Power down that bad boy. Leave all the drama, everybody like, where you going? Who you with? Blah. Power it down. Leave them people where you left them people. Come on now.
So BL says that statement tells you that she's not a feminist. She's a hater. That's why I don't get how are you separating
Dual
gringo
agendas. Dual
and
agendas.
Americans?
Dual agendas.
Because there's Colombian gringos, right? I know some Colombians that live down here. There's Argentinian gringos. How are you separating the gringos? If you separate them by color, come out and say that. But don't be on a site called Mundo Negro talking about
How did
black
that fly?
black feminist this or whatever because of her following, bro. She has like 40 something thousand followers on Twitter. For what reason? I don't know.
Jamal know what I'm talking
And for
about.
those of you who just joined the chat, don't get me wrong. I'm not up here defending Austin in no way, but I'm not gonna shit on him either. There was
Right.
nothing wrong, in my opinion, wrong with this interview, talking to a lady, asking her likes. But I do have a problem with how he worded things. Are Brazilian women easy? Come down and get your dick wet for Brazil. That's basically the message. Nah, don't do that. If you want to do that, that's your thing. Fine, do it low key. Don't put a target on my home. Please do not turn Brazil into the DR. Please do not turn Brazil into the next Medellin. Please, I just got here.
I don't think everybody trying to pay that ticket though, bro.
Nah, bro, you'd be amazed what guys will do for some ass.
I do know my man that came out there to see him though. Dude ain't had no luggage.
You'd be amazed. Some guys will pack nothing but condoms and a phone charger for a 10-hour flight.
You see him getting off the plane, bro?
Don't see him getting off the plane. Bro, if they're going to Thailand and they throwing money in the air at Thailand, don't challenge them, bro, to go anywhere in the world and do stupid shit.
Yeah, man, we the only ones though. Shout out to us though.
Yeah, like Jason said, man, people can't leave that mindset because that's all they know. I get that. That's all you know. I'm just saying, yo, just turn your password in and don't fuck it up for the rest of us. Because that's what happened this past week with the internet and social media. You remember Beverly Hills Cop 2? When Eddie Murphy went to the Playboy Mansion, he's like, go home, everybody. He just fucked it up for everybody. How you fuck up the party at the Playboy Mansion?
Yo, if you haven't seen it, watch it, yo.
Go home, everyone. That's literally what y'all trying to do with the booty bait videos and these weird interviews. Yo, you want to do interviews? Cool, gentlemen. Do interviews like Philly Dom. Or any other calm traveler or expat brother that doing YouTube. But don't put a target on these countries all for the sake of ass.
I know you man, you got comments popping, baby. I'm here for the people, man. I'm here with what the people say. That's what I'm here for. And you know, I live by the comments, baby. So
BL asks if number 9 is the same as number 5. No, it is not. Number 5 is you want to come to Brazil for the first time. You can't say go to a Starbucks and be like, hey, why don't y'all speak English in this Starbucks in the middle of Brazil?
Or why are you even going to Starbucks in Brazil? I'm pretty sure y'all got some good coffee down there, and it's not from Starbucks.
I mean, I go to Starbucks for the lemonade, so
I mean, you up north type guy. Y'all different, yo. Like, no disrespect, man, but like me personally, I'm going into the hood because there's a lady. I kid you not. I watched this on Checks in Effect. Check in Effect had a video where he went down into like some area, and he found a restaurant that was on Netflix. And he went to that restaurant and he told the lady, hey, I saw your restaurant on Netflix. I heard it's famous. What's the good stuff that you got here? That's what I do. That's what I mean. Do some reconnaissance prior to going to where you are. And that's what he did. Perfect example of somebody doing quality content, right? If I'm going to go somewhere, I'm going to mix in with the locals. I'm going where they go. I'm not going to Caribou Coffee. And why would I go like that? Why am I going places I know I can go to in the States? I want to, and that's how you meet people. It's all tied together who I think Rob was asking, how do you make local? I'm gonna go where the locals go. I guarantee you go to Starbucks, you're gonna see 3 or 4 expats in there.
Mm-hmm. German talk about Thailand and Mundros. Man, I saw some video, man. And it's always
Tell them why you mad, son. Tell them why you mad, son.
it's always the black dudes, bro. Like y'all did this shit in Sasua, and then y'all just ran out of real estate in Sasua.
Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. I wish they had like a ticker in Vegas, yo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this could be on Vegas. Like, hey, which ethnicity would throw dollars a night in Pattaya, yo?
Black.
And I wish it was like white or black. It was like a poll. Like, you could bet on that in Vegas. Yo, there be some rich people out here, my G.
Yo, so Joseph Stewart, shout out to Joseph Stewart. Basically, as I was saying earlier, the hate was already there. Prophet, you don't understand. Dre, you talk about it at least once within his life. It's like, yo, the hate is getting bigger and bigger. Why? Because in the Matrix now, all you have, if there aren't women who aren't in happy relationships, all you have are the bitter women who ruin their life by losing out on a good man, right? Can't get their shit together. Too big-headed, too strong-minded, blah, blah, blah. I don't need a man this, or I need your security, or I need your money, or you better be bringing in 6 figures, 6'5".
Come on now.
6 on there for listen. Brothers,
I'm rocking out the 5'10", B. I don't care what they say. I'm rocking out the 5'10".
They're mad. They're mad because you know what now? The average man, and it's not just black men, ladies, because I was just kicking it with 2 white brothers out here in Brazil.
You better say it, bro.
Just kicking it with 2 white brothers out here in Brazil. It's not just black men, ladies. So you need to watch who y'all pointing the finger at.
Man, the white boys was here before you, though. They was here way before us, bro. I promise you this.
I don't know. Men as a whole in the States are gathering their bags, their passport, their money. And you know what? I want a relationship. Maybe one day I want a family, but that's not going to happen here with the way society is in the States, right? Because what women got going for them in the States? The court system going to fuck you up the ass with no lube. Excuse my French.
Come on now.
You got the mindset of these ladies who 3, 4, 5 dates. Man, I just got hit up by my homeboys like, yo, bro, I spent $250, $300 on a date, and she didn't even give me a hug goodbye.
I hope he ain't meet her on Tinder yet.
And she had the nerve to say, oh, I can't wait to do this again. so now
I bet she can't wait though.
So Prophet, now these are the same ladies getting mad where it's like, listen, I'm gonna go to somewhere where I'm appreciated, respected more, and things are working out in my favor. They're getting mad.
Yeah.
So the hate, like Joseph said, the hate's already there. They're like, bro, I know I don't pay attention much to all this shit going on, but occasionally I'll be scrolling, through my feed and looking for sports and memes to share, and I'll see like angry women, or I'll see passport bros this. They were already mad. All Austin did was give them gas and a lighter. Like, here, take it. That's exactly what's going on. That's why I'm mad at Austin. Because you're supposed to know better. You just gave the enemy the blueprint.
Man, sorry. It's okay though, bro. It's okay. I want to say this.
Not the blueprint, right?
Yeah.
Because you know what they're doing now, Prophet? All the bitter, angry people, and it's not just women, it's men too. It's the savior complex. Because a lot of people listen to Cole when Cole said, "Don't save her; she don't want to be saved." It's a lot of
prior to that though. I gotta give you one. Prior to that, Project Pat said, "Don't save her; she don't want to be saved."
Nope. A lot of the high heel lickers.
Shout out to Memphis.
A lot of the high heel lickers, right? Y'all were just waiting, like, damn, these guys are having fun. Y'all ever see the SpongeBob meme online when SpongeBob and Patrick are running outside happy and Squidward looking out them outside the window all sad and angry and shit? That's exactly how they were. And that's my problem. Because now, with what Austin did, they're just gonna throw logic out the window and tie in men leaving for health insurance, men leaving for a better life, men leaving to take care of themselves, men leaving to take care of their parents, men leaving to find love and get married and have children overseas, and men leaving to get ass. And they're just gonna put all of that together.
And at the end of the day, everybody ain't leaving. They're gonna be all right, bro. Everybody's not leaving.
So now they're gonna put all of that together under the movement. Oh, the passport bros. Oh, men are leaving to do sex tourism and all shit. Man, that video somebody put it in the chat where one of the dudes talking about, oh, the FBI is on Austin. FBI is on Austin. Look what they did to Andrew Tate. Man, what is going on with y'all? How has hating, how has bitterness become, when did it become so accepted in society? When did what the next person did affect you become such a thing in society? What Jay-Z said. What you eat don't make me shit. What that got to do with you? Why you got to call out the man, oh, how you look, you can't get no ass in the States. Bro, I haven't smashed a girl from the States in 4.5 years.
Shout out to you, bro.
Even when I go back, bro, what's wrong with that? Oh, you can't get no ass in the States. Go ahead, brother. You get your ass $1,500 worth of meals later or whatever. For a chick who's getting $1,500 of meals for somebody else the next day, or all this other toxic shit that's going on. But let people do what they want. You got all these reaction videos out now coming from bitter women or high heel licking men.
Yeah,
and it's sad. Y'all actually look more worse than Austin, just because Austin didn't do his research right. He didn't do number 2 on the list. He didn't have number 4, right? Because like I said, my problem with the video is Brazilians aren't easy. And if my man's would have watched Chop Up on TV before coming here, he would have known that Brazil and Latin America, in my experience, Latin America, have the most open minds compared to them, because all they want to do is just wake up, go to work, get off work on a Friday, go out, have a beer with their friends, dance samba and pagode, and just have a good time and chill. And they're so open-minded and fun. Bro, a kiss here is like a handshake.
right.
They don't tiptoe around that shit. Sex here is not a taboo subject.
Say that.
Subject. They love sex.
Yeah, say that, bro.
Nothing.
It's the American constraints.
Don't bring the constraints.
That goes back to number 9. Never mind. It goes back to number 9. It goes back to number 9.
Bro, and everybody on YouTube, if Stephanie would have came out and said, listen, I have a problem with Austin Holman because he painted all Brazilian women to be easy and only care about dicks and da. And as soon as you point to somebody, the paintings are coming off and they're going home with you. If she would have came out and said that, I would have been like, you know what, lady? Y'all right. Both of y'all put the gloves on. Y'all sell this shit.
Yeah.
But she's literally trying to use this shit to, I know she's trying to raise her stature, raise her pitchforks, and that shit working because now she got women in the States, and the women in the States probably going to be sending her money to keep up the good fight, and it's just going to be a shit show. And I am more mad that this shit show is literally happening in a place that I'm now calling my home. Yeah, could have took this shit somewhere else.
But I think it's going to die down only because Austin left. Because she's going to have, what else is she going to be able to talk about? He's no longer there. So now she's going to be seeking out people that are doing wrong, to her terms, on her terms, what she considers to be wrong. She's going to be seeking out people that are putting Brazilians in a bad light. She's going to have a hard job doing that. And she's going to, this whole, like, I'm not going to say it's going to, eventually dissipate and be done away with. It'll still be there, but I guarantee you by this time next month, there'll be something else to talk about. Especially the fact that she's in what, Salvador? Salvador? She's
Yeah.
in, yeah. So I mean, once Carnival comes around, ain't nobody gonna be thinking about it no more.
Okay. I want to know. I want to know if she's gonna be Tulio when Carnival comes around.
Right.
For those of you who don't know Tulio, right? Tulio was responsible for the Haitian massacre in the Dominican Republic, right? When he told all the Haitians to say parsley a certain type of way, right? I want to know if she's gonna go up to each individual male and ask them to speak Portuguese. And if they speak like they're not from there, what is she gonna do? Get
Off
out
with his head. Off with his head.
during Carnival?
People come from all over the world.
Carnival's in a month, sweetie.
Yeah. Yeah, Jamon,
She
that's
gonna,
bad.
she gonna fuck around and end up questioning the wrong person who got the time and the
Right.
resources and the connections and the money.
Right. And that does not care. Exactly what
Bro,
Jamon said. He said the same thing.
she's picking the wrong fight because if Austin was promoting prostitution, and some of you
And I don't
idiots,
really think he was, though. That's the
no,
thing.
no, because some of those idiots go in the comments and they'll be like, "Yeah, women are for sale in this country, just like that." Or they said, some of y'all don't know a lick about shit.
Right.
Y'all just talk to hear yourselves talk. Some of y'all never even travel. Y'all travel with your eyes when y'all type at youtube.com and y'all go to all these travel channels. Some of y'all don't know shit y'all talking about. Y'all just going to spout nonsense on the internet. Because there were comments like that. Oh, yeah, women are for sale. Nah, y'all getting that shit fucked up.
Yeah.
But with her and Austin, that shit blew up way more than it was supposed
What's
to.
these likes looking like, bro? You got your likes up? Yeah, what's your likes looking like?
Yeah, my mic said, you can't hear me?
Man, I know likes, not your mic. Likes, baby, the thumbs up. Tell them to hit that thumbs up.
Oh, yeah, yo, make sure I get them thumbs up on, man.
Yeah, we out here dropping. We dropping a good. This is a good.
It don't cost nothing. Even if you don't like what I got to say, come in the comments.
Right. If you like the way the flow is going and you're engaged and you got something to say,
Listen,
go ahead and hit the thumbs up.
Like I said earlier, for you guys who missed this, she got the wrong message from Austin talking to Brazilian women. And like I said, you YouTubers, let that be a lesson learned. Not everything has to be sex related when you're traveling and pointing a camera at someone. But she got the wrong message. Because if she's mad at Austin, she should, like I said, she should be in front of these establishments in Rio and all over the country where prostitution is legal, where these people have jobs that support their life, their families, and it's legal. There's whole establishments, bro. There's not like holes in the walls where you go to a building, you do a secret knock, and then they ask you for the password. Nah, these are whole legal establishments,
right,
where women go to work. So if she's picking a fight with him about that and saying, "Oh, we can't paint that picture, that this and that," the very women that she says she's standing up for, she's taking the money out of their hands. She's taking the food out of their mouths. Because if you have a problem with prostitution, you're getting mad at the wrong person, who's a gringo.
Right. Well, the thing is this, and let's bring it back to Austin for a second. And I brought this to your attention as well as our chat, right? The live that I watched, well, yesterday, but it was live on Sunday. I'm not going to name the guy because I don't, name drop. But he showed an interview that Austin did where Austin didn't have a shirt on. And he talked about if you're doing this as a job, right? If you're doing YouTube as a content creator full time, and that's your job, you are working for somebody, mind you. You're not working for yourself. You're still working for YouTube. Should you be doing your job with no shirt on? Professionalism is always key. Now, granted, people are gonna say, well, he's 23. Bro, I was 21, well, 22 when I graduated college. I got a job. I couldn't roll into that job shirtless, nipple rings showing. Not me, but I'm just saying in general. That's the mindset, right? You can't go into your job with no shirt on, bro. So there are some small things that could have been avoided that could have helped out his argument. But when you give fuel to the fire, it's easy for your opponent to get a win. So I just say, man, I've been saying this for the last couple of days. Govern yourself accordingly. Act like you've been raised by your mom, your grandmom, your auntie, whoever. Act like you got some sense when you get off a plane somewhere. That's my biggest thing.
And
he did the video with his mom at the airport. She's hugging him and all this and that and the third. Bro, I felt for the guy. You know what I'm saying?
So, Prophet, Slicker Travis says, that it depends on the context.
Put it up though. Put it up. Where we at? Oh, the last one. No, bro, he was in the apartment, bro. I ain't talking about. He actually had a shirt on, I think, at the beach. I think he had a tank on at the beach. I'm talking about the one he was in the apartment with the chick with the black dress on. That's the one I'm talking about. I get your point. Yeah, obviously, atmosphere plays a part. On the couch in the living room. Ah, man, come on. There's so many innuendos flowing out right there at that point. It's like, man, you're not giving. It's not a good look, Bree. It's not a good look. You know what I mean? So, but that's me as an older guy looking at it. You know what I'm saying?
Understood.
I probably would have done the same thing. I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Understood. And for me, even as a YouTuber, I want to send number 10 out to Austin. First of all, I want to send the dude he's young, and listen, y'all. On the internet, people have lost more or taken their lives for less than on the internet. So yeah, he made a mistake, a dumb mistake, but chill out with the bullying. On both sides.
Why we got to go all the way in?
Don't bully Austin. Don't go bully the
young lady. Yeah,
the young lady. Don't bully.
Right.
If y'all want to debate.
Right.
But don't put this
constructive conversation is what we like to call it.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the link again. Well, you still have the link up. The links in your WhatsApp.
You might have to repost it, bro. That was like 82 hours ago. You might have to post that. I think somebody, Slick Travels, was asking to jump in. I know Uncle Russ is talking about jumping in. He said this morning. Well, he's on the other side of the earth.
Listen, y'all need to know how to move, right? And why I say number 10, for Austin, like, yo, pick your head up. Mistakes happen. You will get older. You will learn. Just take what positive you can, learn from it, and move on. But when I say not everything has to be recorded and stay low key, Profe, what happened to the days of forums? Bro, I remember.
They're still out there. They're just deep in the internet, bro.
Bro, no, it's all on YouTube. Became a forum now. Since when?
I'm talking about like the actual you got to read type forums. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta
Exactly.
wait
Not
for your
everything is visual. Not everything
yeah,
is visual because brothers could be on the treadmill or driving and listening to this. I get
right,
it,
right.
but y'all want that? Y'all want to do that? Visuals, audio, whatever. Fine, bro. Do a Patreon or a Buy Me a Coffee or an
Mm,
OnlyFans or
mm.
OnlyFans.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that
But,
right there.
but don't have this type of stuff ready and available for all types of people on this walk of earth.
I gotta call the timeout on you right there. That one needs to go. Can we get another? Can we put a number 11 in there? Can we do a 10B?
That'd be
We need an addendum to 10, so we got to put a 10B in. And I want you to put exactly what you just said because that is super important. If this is your job, this is your number one job, right, Austin? If you out there, if you ever catch this is your number one job. You need to talk to guys that's mindset is thinking about I'm making money off YouTube. How can I maximize? How can I 10x the money that I want to make? You don't make that money off of YouTube. You go outside of YouTube. You get a Patreon, like you just said, Chopper Pie. You get a Patreon. You get join my channel. He's got what? Some, 30, 45, whatever. I don't know what he's up to now, but he's got all of those thousands. Then once you get to that level, you do a join my group. You charge memberships monthly, $4.99 to $9.99, bro.
and you could do
Patreon,
whatever
you
the
charge
hell
what you
you
want to,
want. Better yet,
right?
bro, an interview like his would have been perfect on OnlyFans.
Come
Some
on
of
now.
his videos because
Come on now.
YouTube ain't gonna monetize porn. You can't be on YouTube on my all women's dicks, guys. What dick size you like, or would you go home me this and that?
Man, boy, that OnlyFans
Listen.
would have been popping, baby.
You go on YouTube, you drop a little teaser. This is
Talk
for guys
about
who are into that, right? Because it's more to traveling and moving abroad than just ass. But if that's how you make your money, I ain't gonna tell you
that
how to make
BET
your money.
Uncut. That BET Uncut is what you're
Exactly.
talking about. Come on now. That where the money was made, BET Uncut, baby. That's how
Exactly.
BET stayed on.
We got Unc in the building. What's good, Unc?
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
Hey, you
What's
did
up?
you done did
Talk
your
to
push-ups and you run on the beach,
Hey, I'm trying, man. I'm just getting back into exercise, and I'm just getting
Man,
back
shout out to
into
you,
it.
man. Living your best life. Good to see you, brother.
I'm trying, but man, I got something. I was just looking at the YouTube, and for some reason, this chick vlog, Tanya TKO came up,
Yeah.
and Stephanie is on her live now,
Yeah.
talking,
Mm-hmm.
and she said something that to me, man, is all right. So here's the point. Like Tanya actually, she said, "Hey, this has been happening with men going to Brazil for years. Have you ever reported a white man to the authorities?" And her answer was no.
Uh-oh.
Never reported a white man, right? So what made her report this black man? She starts saying, "Oh, it's about the violence of this." Oh, I'm trying not. I'm on my phone, man, because my computer died.
Hey, me, you okay, baby? You okay?
Yeah.
You.
So she was saying, "Oh, it's about the violence and that comes with this." And no, nothing Austin did was violent. Nothing he said was violent. And every clip they wanted to show about men with passport is always black men. That means throughout the whole show, just like black men, clips of black men. I mean, it's just, something. The black man is the most hated man on earth, even amongst his own community. Even amongst his own community. And I'm talking about whether it's the domestic community, whether he is a black man in England or a black man in Portugal or a black man in the US. We are the most hated community and probably hate each other more than white people can ever hate us. But I mean, all her, everything was about, brothers with passport. And when she said she's never taken this to the authorities with white men. Come on. Even Tanya said, even she had to, like, you know, clear her throat on that one. So so why is it so important that you want to try to get someone kicked out the country? You want to embarrass them. You want to do everything you can. But when you got white dudes doing the same thing, it's cool. And then she's saying that, you know, prostitution is legal. The brother didn't say anything about, he didn't ask the lady if she was a prostitute. He asked, do they sleep? And she even said for herself, she said on Tanya's show that, hey, it's you know, it's normal for if a lady from Brazil, if she's interested in the guy, you know, it's up to her. If she wants to sleep with a guy, yeah. She said, you know, there's nothing unusual about that. And that's the same thing Austin said. That's the thing. She said the exact same thing. He didn't even say it that. She said, you know, it's normal. So I don't understand how you could, you know, paraphrase, you know, basically say the same thing. And it's cool when you say it, but if somebody else, you know, asks a question, and an innocent question, it's not like the girl didn't know she was being taped or anything like that.
Exactly.
You know, it's so hypocrite. And that's why I said, you know, and I'm certainly not and I heard what I said about bullying. I'm certainly not going to bully nobody. I did ask her to be on my show, but she is a problem looking for a solution. And it's just like in the States when a white woman freak a black dude and her friends find out about it, oh, he raped me. It's somebody need a criminal, it's the black guy. He did it. Like when that lady killed her 3 kids and pushed the car to the lake, it was a black man. You know, Emmett Till, it was a black man. This guy was, I mean, we are the fucking boogeymen of the fucking world. And like I said, everything she said today was so much hypocrisy. It was sickening, honestly. It was absolutely sickening. You know?
In your words, what did she mean by the gringos could go, but Americans could stay? I'm still trying to figure that out.
Talking about, but even when she talking about that, man, you know, it's like, you know, like she did a statement that, you know, some about the passport bros derogatory, but then she says, well, I'm not talking about all Americans. So, you know, she even said herself, listen, you know, I don't want the black guys here, but, you know, the white men that come in and enjoy the Brazil, the ladies of culture, whatever, it's all cool. I mean, man, that is such self-hate. That is such self-hate. But she clearly, by her statements today, is target Austin just for the fact that he is a young black influencer. You know what I'm saying? Purely. That was it. And like I said, because when Tanya asked her straight up, have you ever did this with a white guy? They've been coming down here for hundreds of years. She said no. No.
She's on a website called Mundo Negro, Black World.
Let me tell you something. She's about as black as Clarence Thomas.
God, hey.
Hey, Chop Up, I don't know if you can hear me, buddy. Can you hear me, man?
Yeah, we hear you. What's going on, sir?
Okay, man. I appreciate you having me on the channel. Taylor May, what's happening, man? Shout out to you, man. I was talking to you yesterday, brother. I was talking to you yesterday in my on Instagram and the DM when I told you I linked up with Chop Up in Brazil. Talked to you earlier yesterday. Yeah, so this is me in the flesh right here, man. I just wanted to jump in with you guys, man, because y'all guys making some key points. Some I agree with, some I disagree with, man, when it comes to Austin, man. Man, where to begin for real, man? You know, I think Austin wasn't the first person, first of all, that done this, right? But for some reason, this particular woman in Brazil decided to use him as the guinea pig, right? You know, shout out to Brazil. You see I'm wearing the hat. I love Brazil. Went there, experienced it for the first time last May. It was great. But, you know, so far as Austin, man, I think he'll be all right. He gonna bounce back. I know, what's my man name right here? What's your name, buddy, with the North Carolina sweater on? I don't see your name. What is that? Spanish now?
Now, speak Spanish now, baby.
Speak Spanish now? Okay, brother. Yeah, man. He is young, man. At 23, I wish I was on the same thing he's doing. I'm 40 years old. I'll be 40 in February 16th. So that's when my birthday coming here, man.
Shout out to you,
I wish I was. Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. I wish I was on what Austin was on at 23. I didn't. These young cats now getting so much from the vets, like Taylor May, Chopper Pop, Zoe. The list goes on. Zoom to Thailand. So much inspiration out here for brothers to get their passport, man. If they ride in the States and they can get one and travel out. But you got to be able to move smooth. You can't get out here and see what you see on YouTube and just think you could just come on here and just speak this stuff freely. That Patreon, he definitely should have been on that. You got to take a note from BMT on that and International Zoe. I know he big on that too.
Bro.
And Zuna Thailand, you got to have that Patreon, man. You can't put explicit content out here, man, for these people to jump in and attack you like that, man. It's gonna make you look bad. Well, he'll bounce back, I think, man. He'll bounce back.
And thank you, Slicks, for coming up. They'll jump in, attack you, and flip it. Russ, I don't know if you see all the women in the States who don't even know shit about what's going on that got something to say or comment, like, oh, these are why all the men are leaving. These are what's going on. It's mind-boggling to me. Everybody coming out of the woodworks.
No, but it shouldn't be. Anytime black men are winning is when he's going to get attacked. Anytime a black man wins at any damn thing, he's going to get attacked. Anything. Like
Preach.
I remember the hockey player, the one black hockey player in Canada. How they and he was successful, one of the hottest hockey players. But they attacked him. I remember even with Pele, we talking back in the 80s, Pele is the most famous soccer player in the world. But they ridiculed him, called him everything. Anytime a black man, I don't care, internationally, domestic, anytime a black man is winning, he gets attacked. Anytime
RP Pele too, man.
Yeah. If a black man got a strong business in the US and he's winning, he's doing the same thing that these white dudes been doing for fucking centuries. They don't have time to audit these other large companies, but he'll get slapped with a goddamn audit. He'll get slapped with an I'm telling you. So anytime a black man is winning at anything, and now they see brothers got their money together, brothers are traveling, they're doing their thing, they're exploring the world, bam. Somebody.
Hey, Taylor, man, let me interject respectfully. Let me interject respectfully. Hey, key word what you just said with the white man. But one thing, the white man that I haven't personally seen, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen the white man come on and boast it like us black folk do. Get on and showcase the women and showcase the beauty of the country and stuff like that. They don't put it out there like we do. You know what I'm saying? They real low key in the street with it.
I'm trying to find a video. I saw a video today on Instagram, a white man with a bombshell Latina woman, and he had his video passport rolls, and he was like, listen, you leave the country. He was a bit more vocal. He's like, listen, you leave the country, get you one of these. She don't even speak English, so when she talked to me, I don't know what the hell she's saying, and I'm fine with that. Get your passport, leave. This is a white man saying that. I don't know if he was trolling.
Was that in the chat? I think somebody dropped it. I think Drake.
I dropped the link in the chat. I forget the guy's name, but he made a great point. I think if y'all look at that video, to bring a light to the situation dealing with Austin. I talked about how it was in Brazil, and it's white people, white guys speaking to different women, asking the same questions about kissing when you first meet. Stuff like that. Would you go home, etc. And those videos never got the backlash that Austin got. I forget the guy name. It's in the chat. Let me see if I can see it. I posted it. Let me see.
Yeah, and Slick, I agree with you. Is that me?
Nah, that was Slick.
No, that wasn't you.
Slick with your audio.
I agree, man. I think a lot of black dudes post way too much. Like most of my vlogs are me sitting down talking like we're having a conversation now. you know, and when I'm out this, you know, if I'm showing lady, I'm at the beach, you know what I'm saying, where you can see everything. You know, the dress attire for the beach. And I don't focus in
Right,
on that,
right,
ladies. You know, that's why I like giving out
right.
information on, you know, how to set up bank
It
accounts,
ain't
how to
nothing
do
wrong
this.
showing the ladies.
But
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong.
I don't think there's nothing wrong showing the ladies, but you can't magnify that.
Hey, Slick,
Yeah,
Slick, you gotta fix your audio, bro.
yeah,
Oh, can
yeah.
you hear me?
I agree with you. Look, I agree. I agree. I absolutely agree with you.
And
I got
and when he mentioned earlier, like, hey, you know, you got all these other YouTube channels to model yourself after. Some YouTubers and black men, because when black men win, it's great, but when we fuck up, most of us don't like to look at ourselves.
you.
Right,
We don't listen to those who have succeeded before us. And we used to have this talk all the time when we were living in DR. You don't see Chop Up Our TV or Jorge Channel, anybody else getting in this type of trouble because of who we model, well, who I model myself after, right? I listen to Russ, I listen to Dre, I watch Richie, I watch all the brothers who have success with the least amount of haters. Any haters that these brothers have, they're just trolls at this point, and it's their free time, and they're
right,
doing it
right,
paid.
right.
But in situations like this, you have to be able to listen and use that common sense to stay in the lanes of the internet. We used to have forums off of YouTube where you could talk about the things you want to talk about. Well, like I said, OnlyFans will pay you for this, where you could
Facts.
do all the conversations or freaky shit you want. But now, when it's on YouTube, where anybody, any part of the world could go in, look up this video, and then paint a target, right? Because reason why I'm angry is because now I just moved here. This is my home, and now it has this huge ass target on its back,
Right,
where
right.
you're gonna get all these bottom of the barrel people flocking to it or talking negatively about it when it's a really beautiful country outside of that.
Absolutely.
And now it has a target paint on it because in all of Latin America, Brazilians are the most open-minded and they do things a little different. And we're still in that age and time where everybody loses their mind over kissing and sex and attracting and all that. It pisses me off.
That's what trips me out, bro. That's what trips me out about this feminist that came bashing him. Like, you can't stop them, girl. You can't stop those women in Brazil. We're gonna since we're speaking Brazil. You can't stop those women. You can't tell those women what to do with themselves. They do what they want. It's free. It's free world.
Hey, brother Slick, can you
Yes, sir.
log? Can you log out and then log back in? I think your mic is jacked up a little bit when you logged in.
Okay.
It's some I want to hear what you're saying, but it's like
Okay.
crackling.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But I couldn't hear what he was saying though because of the crackling going on.
yeah. I couldn't. Well, I could hear, but I couldn't understand.
Right.
And yeah, yeah. But like I said, man, and I agree with you, nephew. But like I said, when you have somebody who is what I call a solution, and they're hovering, trying to find a problem, they're going to find a problem. It's just like if you're in a relationship and you got a jealous girlfriend and she's constantly looking for an issue, she's going to find an issue sooner or later. It's, you know, you a solution looking for a problem, and unfortunately, Austin happened to be that problem that fit that solution. Because, like I said, because everything she's talking about off of that has nothing to do with the exact statement that he made. Has nothing to do with it. You talking about violence? He said nothing violence. You talking about promoting prostitution? He said, "Hey, come get your passport." That's inviting cats to come to Brazil. He's made plenty of videos about how beautiful it is, how the culture, how he feels free. So like I said, but you're talking about everything else, promoting prostitution, the violence. She was talking about, guys are coming there, getting girls pregnant and leaving them. what I mean, just a plethora of stuff. Not even dealing with the issue, but sure enough, and to her credit, I give her credit. She's when Lady asks it, did you ever report a white guy who and white men, and I'm not targeting white men, but who's been coming out here for hundreds of years, colonized. Did you ever report a white guy? No.
That's what I was speaking on. I think y'all had an issue with my mic. Can y'all hear me clearly now?
Yeah.
So that's one of the questions I was piggybacking off of Taylor with. I never see white guys getting either really, putting information out like that so the white community can feel like how the black brother community is when it comes to traveling and seeing the landscape, the women, and et cetera. White people, I don't see a lot of white guys putting that energy out there like that. I don't see it as a negative, and I don't really see it as a negative for the brothers putting it out there. Like I said, if you're gonna show a lady, that's fine, but don't focus on it and don't put too much in it. You can't give too much game to YouTube like that. But obviously, this is an old game. This is an old game overall before YouTube, right? Taylor May, you know about that. We rookies compared to you.
Absolutely, but he asked her, would you sleep with a guy would you kiss a guy on the first date? Yeah. Would you sleep with a guy on the first date? She said yeah. But guess what? She just said on somebody else's show, well, hey, that sleeping with a guy on the first date is normal for us, because we take charge of our sexuality. So I'm like, hold on.
What's funny about that though, Taylor? You know what's funny about it?
What the?
They do this shit in the Matrix, Miami. I'm from Florida. I'm from Miami. I'm in Tampa right now. I reside in Tampa. My man, you could go to South Beach and ask a girl the same question. You can go to anywhere in America and ask the woman, Vegas, ask the woman the same question. It's not gonna get hit like that.
Look, I'm 60 years old. I've been screwing since 14, right? Well, younger, but when I knew what I was doing.
Facts.
I used to go to clubs, screw a girl in the car, go back in the club, and get another girl to take home that night. So the U.S. has no moral ground on how many brothers who have slept with a woman on the first date, and every fucking woman raised their hand. I ain't saying every woman, but every brother has slept with a woman in the U.S. on the first date. Hell, it wasn't.
And her roommate.
Right. Whether it's the first date and it continues or it's a one night stand. Same thing.
There's no moral high ground.
Yeah.
So I don't know why these sisters are pretending like, we don't do that here. Yes, the fuck you do.
I wouldn't even feed the Matrix. I wouldn't even feed the Matrix with their energy and the women over here. We ain't even got to feed that, brother, because we already know what time it is with that. We can let them do their thing, bro.
Yeah, but see, they giving few, but that's giving few to those American hypocrites that's saying we don't do it.
The hypocrisy. The hypocrisy.
Exactly. Only thing is, you selling yours for a much higher price.
That's it. That's it. We preaching. We preaching.
And it's not the price they're asking. But Slick,
I'm gonna have some breakfast this morning. Now he done had some breakfast this morning. Now he wide awake.
Hey, Chop, I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let y'all boys do y'all thing. I'm gonna sign off and let you run it. I'm gonna be tuning in.
Man, definitely.
Hey, Taylor May, pleasure meeting you, brother. Hey, you too, Spanish now.
All right now,
y'all boys be safe.
Hit me up on IG or get my number from Chopper Pop.
Hey man, do that.
I got you.
Everybody.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Yes, sir. Slick, cool dude, man. I linked up with him in Rio last year when I was with. But listen, you know what this lady's trying to do? She's trying to end up on Oprah or some shit because it just don't make sense. The pitchfork
solution looking for a problem.
She looking for an end, bro. She looking for an end.
The pitchforks at the wrong thing. So let's say her issue was Austin talking about prostitution. Prostitution is legal here.
Listen, my first comment I said was clout chasing. Solution looking for a problem. And somebody came back and said, well, no, she's really big over there. And she doesn't need that. She's bigger than you. She's bigger than us. I said then that tells me that you have no idea what you're talking about.
Let's speak on what. Can we recap what you talked about yesterday? I like to say it in my words since you already said it. because I was paying attention while I was driving. Yeah, I listened to you like it was a podcast. So Unc said the young lady is like the hiker that's going up Mount Everest.
Mm-hmm.
As you continue to climb Mount Everest, the air becomes thin.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of air up there. So you grasp down to find something to talk about. Because there ain't nothing else up there once you already up at the top. Because somebody said, oh, she got 3.25 million followers and this, that, the third, and whatever. What whoop de whoop, blah, blah, blah. Who's she gonna talk about up there? Mr. Beast? Who's she gonna talk about? Barack Obama? Ain't a whole lot of people to talk. Andrew Tate, they done got him. Kevin Samuels dead, they done got him. So who you gonna talk about? Now let me go ahead and let me reach down here by my ankle. Oh, I got some. I got a bite. Austin Holloman. Let me talk about him.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, she eating that peanut, boy, she getting everything out that peanut shell, baby. She gonna get everything out that peanut shell that she can. She gonna squeeze that juice out the headphones.
And it's sad because politically there's bigger things here she should be worrying about instead of get the black man who had a girl on camera, and the girl basically spoke about what every other Brazilian woman thinks.
No, but this, see, this is the thing.
The chat. I'm sorry. Check the chat. Check the chat, Chopper Pop. The private chat, John. This is just for later when you repurpose this as a video.
Copy.
You know how some people be. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Unc. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got you. Thank you.
Yeah, she's trying to stay relevant, right? And she knew, like you said, when you at Mount Everest and the air is so thin, and you're grabbing down. Austin has an international audience, a big audience, and he's from America. And now, like you said, I've even invited on my show because I want to get a take. I rescind the offer now because she basically said everything I was going to ask her. So now she's on Tanya TKO show, and I'm quite sure she's going to be on some other YouTuber. So see, now her base is broadening out. Now she's getting all this feminist support from American, so her platform is getting bigger. So that's why I said the first time, not the second, but the first time I said it was cloud chasing. And second time I was like,
I know somebody's about. Yeah. I got a young lady in mind, and I don't put names out, but there's a young lady I have in mind, and we all know who she is. A young Caucasian lady that has been blazing these streets that will shut her down. And there are a few young ladies that are, melanated, that have some channels that are going to shut her down. And so I'm anxious to see how this thing unfolds the next 2 weeks, bro. Yeah. It's better than the Super Bowl.
To be honest, it's literally somebody just trying to take advantage in the heat of the moment. Her biggest support is gonna come from the States.
Yeah.
Really. Because the women here, they got bigger things to worry about.
I think that's what she's trying to appeal. She knows that, like Unc said, she's grasping for straws at this point. Mm-hmm. They ain't gonna listen to but so much. These people, the people in Brazil, are not worried about what she's worried about. They worried about trying to find food to put on their tables.
They're worried about the political shit going on.
And that's a bigger issue, right? And she over here talking about some stuff that's been around since the 1800s.
Yeah,
but hold on, gentlemen. So this person commented. He says this dude, he's talking about Austin, thinks that just because he is a pervert, he thinks that everybody in the States is a pervert.
Okay, so what did he do that was being perverted? So I was asking somebody a question.
I mean, I don't
see.
This
is the thing. Everybody wants to change the narrative, right? And one thing, being an ex-investigator, the one thing that you learn when you're investigating somebody, stick to the narrative. Because they always gonna try to change now. Well, my sister, no, okay, well, all right, we'll talk about your sister's role later. Let's talk about your role now. And they'll say, well, my cousin had a hand. No. We're gonna get to your cousin's role later. Let's talk about your role that you had in this. And the one thing about, like I said, being an ex-investigator, I would tell the people I talk to, we can't go with 6 narratives. Here's the narrative. This is the conversation that I need. This is the conversation I'm going to have with you. If you don't want to have this conversation, then let me know. But I tell everybody, man, especially somebody with a YouTube channel, never ever let nobody control the narrative. Once you let them control the narrative, they done took over. Like right now, she changed the narrative. She controls the narrative. But me, if I was Austin, I'd get control of the narrative. Like I would take, that show that she was on today. She said prostitution is legal. It's okay if a woman sleeps with a guy on the first date. She's taking control of her sexuality. And these are her words, not mine. Right? She said there's no problem with that. I would take back the narrative. I never let nobody control my narrative, Never let nobody control my narrative. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem. You have to stay in control of the narrative if anytime somebody starts, speaking something against you. Now, like I tell people, every fight you don't have to fight, because like Disney World, you got to be, if you this high and you try to get on this ride, there's a big sign that says you got to be this high.
Come on now.
Right? To ride this ride. If you here, we ain't got nothing to talk about. You ain't tall enough.
Take your ass down the street. Yeah.
But being that she has a platform and she's at Mount Everest and she has nothing else to talk about and reaching back to try to broaden out it. Yeah, I would be all over that. I would be all over it. I would clout chase with you. We're gonna clout chase the Mount Everest together at this point. Honestly. What's up, brother Dre?
Dre, what's going on?
Big Dre.
What's up, family? How's everybody doing? I had some editing I had to finish off. But...
Shout out to you, man.
I had some editing I had to finish off, but then I was just texting something that I noticed, and I told him this. I say 2,000, and I say, look at your subscribers, 2,000. I say in the last 4 days you've gained 2,000 subscribers. I say ain't nobody turning their back on you, brother. I say if anything, this woman has done nothing but giving you traction. And I told him for the last couple of days, in the mortal words of Warren Buffett, never let a tragedy go to waste. Take advantage of this moment. Just like Russ is saying, take advantage of this moment. Don't run from it. Don't duck from it. Take full advantage of it. Because just in what he's doing and just moving slowly. The first day that it all happened, he said, well, Dre, you think I should go live? I say, yeah, I've talked to the people. The dude made over $900 on that live stream. Ain't nobody going nowhere. The dude in the last 4 days, there are YouTube channels that statistically the average YouTube channel takes 1.5 years to gain 1,000 subscribers. This man just gained 2 in less than 4 days. So when everybody sit back, talk about, oh, poor Austin, I'm looking at the metrics.
You gotta double down, man.
I'm like, brother.
You gotta double down. Absolutely.
I'm like, ride it out. I told him this. I said, brother, let her keep talking. Let these women keep talking, because what happens is with everything, people go and investigate. Like, well, who is this Austin Holloman they talking about? And then subscribe. And then all these brothers that can relate to Austin, subscribe. And then all the brothers that circle the wagon that didn't click subscribe. The ones that didn't super chat, the ones that didn't donate, the ones that didn't support, they can relate, because do realize this could happen to any of us. Any of us. The good dudes, the single dudes, the married dudes, they could come for, like Russ said earlier, because I was listening while I was editing. No matter what a black man does positive, they will always try to poke holes in that situation. They will always come for it, no matter what. You will never find women. Do you really think these women will ever? Let's put it like this: ever be happy for any past brother? All of them can get married and be or in solid relationships or in polygamous relationships and can be happy, and they will still be bitter. All of us decide not to get married.
Dre, can you switch your Wi-Fi?
Like I froze for a second.
Yeah, Jay, your Wi-Fi's in and out.
Yeah, can you switch that one? I know you normally switch over.
Yeah, I'm going to have to switch over in a second. But my point is that this moment is not detrimental for Austin. And I really believe that even probably in the short time, Austin may even decide to say, you know what, let me give it another chance in Brazil, because he really does love that location like you do, Chapapa. He has that really love, not just for because he could have easily stayed in Rio and said, I'm gonna do the tourist America thing. But he said, no, I want to find my part in this country. Mm-hmm. And that's what he's doing. Every time I talk to him, the brother just sounds so at peace and so happy. And I even ask him about, how your mom doing right now. Understand the fact that you over there, she missing a baby boy, just saying what I talked to Ace about how his mom might feel about his travels. But at the end of the day, the brother's not hurting. He just dropped the video a couple hours ago and it's over almost 10,000 views. So he as
he should not be. He should not be hurt though.
Right, but at the end of the day, it's like this. It's not about who Austin Ottoman was, because Austin was not the one that posted that statement. The statement that she used was the statement from a guy named Joey. I was before it all even popped off. He and I were talking about. He said, "Dre, I got a video on Twitter. It's got over." He said, "Dre, it's over 900,000." Now at this time it was at 900,000 views. He hadn't had it up for but about maybe 10 hours. It wasn't at the 204. I mean, the 2.4 million views that it ended up with. He said, "Dre, in the last 10 minutes I've been talking to you. It's gotten over 70,000 views." This woman took one of the comments in his Twitter feed of a dude named Joey. Austin sent it to me of a dude Joey that said, "All in."
Yep, offer sale.
Yeah, I saw it.
We lost Wi-Fi. You. Yeah, we lost you.
Austin never said that. But here.
So I think what Dre's trying to say.
Give me a second.
Yeah. So what Dre's trying to say is what I pointed out.
I know. But here's the kicker. I told Austin this was your mistake. You created a platform where dudes like that can feel comfortable with putting that out there. I say that's what your mistake is. I say they will never post something like that on Taylor Made Dreams. They'll never post something like that on. You see what I'm saying? They'll never post something like that. Love Crossing Borders, Ace Live, Checking Effect. I say so. You got to ask yourself, Austin, what is it that you're doing that make these young dudes feel comfortable with posting something like that on your Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, your comment section on YouTube, whatever it is? You got to ask yourself, what is it that I'm doing that I need to change to let these guys know they cannot be like Ace did. You cannot be comfortable with doing certain things. And once Ace continued for about a good year, start pushing them dudes out, all of a sudden a whole new range of audience came in, and that's how Ace got to 400,000. But he had to for about a year create his own narrative. And I told Austin this. I said, your problem was you let everybody define Austin Holloman for Austin Holloman. I say the person I talk to on the phone is completely different from the person that people try to create in their mind of who you are as a young person. I say, and that's the mistake that you made as a YouTuber. I say, no, as a man, hey man, I gotta commend you. I wish I was doing what you were doing at 23 years old. I swear. But at the end, I swear, I say, man, brother, I say that little bump in the road that you having right now, there's nothing compared. I say I was sitting up in federal prison at 23. I said I had vans around me, and I'm looking like Hannibal Lecter with my face in chains in a black box at 23. I say, so if this is all you got to deal with is a few people crying about on YouTube and you advancing and you making more money, man, if you don't sit your little happy butt down, man, and make this money and let these people give you these subscribers, and by the end of next month, you're going to be at 50,000, and you think about I say, brother, you're doing excellent for somebody that's 23 years old, man. I say, because I know dudes that's twice your age and ain't got no responsibilities and even got the balls to move to another state, least long move to another country. So I commend you for that, brother. I really do. And that's exactly what I've been telling them over the last few days. But before everything went down, he and I were literally on the phone just chopping it up, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden he was like, Dre, I'm noticing this. And then all of a sudden he said, Dre, it's this Brazilian lady, but so forth and so forth. And that's when everything started spinning out of control and just been like, he's been trying to grasp hold to it. And he was like, you know what? I'm not about to deal with this. I'm about to sit up here and be attacked in a country that I know I really care about. He said, so I'm out of here. I'm going somewhere where I can get a peace of mind for a minute. And that's what he did. And that goes back to with us with passports. We don't owe no country nothing. That's what Austin has learned early at 23. I don't owe no country nothing. All these people that sit back and think, love crossing borders, Colombia, you got us twisted. We about to move to Europe. Now what? What you gonna say then? Y'all don't realize we are men that have passports. We don't owe nobody nothing except the United States taxes and leave us alone. That's all we ask for. Other than that, we don't owe no country nothing. So when people fail and realize, you don't hear women in Ukraine complain about Austin. You know why? He don't owe them nothing. They know that Austin don't know them. You don't hear nobody in Colombia, all the women in Colombia complain about Austin. Why? He don't owe them nothing. And the women in the United States actually think that all black men owe them something. And that's the mistake. And that's why they sit back and they come at us, because they think because they gave birth to us, we owe them. And even if we leave go to another country, they still think we owe them. We don't owe you. I don't owe you nothing in the United States but taxes. I don't owe you no excuses. I don't owe you no reason why I do what I do. But at the end of the day, they have to realize that we have moved on. Pookie and Ray Ray's, that's all you got left. I was just reading the article now that I put in the latest video today.
Hold on, before you go into that, hold on. Let's go back into that thought that you just gave. Why is it you think that they think we owe them something?
Because just like Austin laid the foundation for that young man named Joey to post that in his life, we have sat back, and I know where you're going with that, Don Omar. We have made it comfortable for women that are black and women that are white, and I know what white woman, young white woman you talk about, to be comfortable to criticize our manhood and our malehood as black men. Once again, we continue to make them comfortable with saying what they got to say to us. We make their platforms comfortable by going to their platforms. Let me hear what you got to say. I don't care nothing about what them females got to say. I could care less about what a woman that's still stuck in the United States, miserable, and she got to use her battery operated boyfriend every single night. I can care less about it. I don't care about how many degrees you got, how many six figures you got. I don't care about all your college debt. I don't care nothing about that, because like what one sister said, she said, well, when it don't work out, y'all be back. I said, baby, it's over 190 something more countries for me to go to. I said, I will be stuck in Antarctica.
Anybody coming back?
Come back to the United States. I said, I will be a penguin loving. You'll be seeing me interviewing penguins, hanging out with penguins. How do you make penguins?
Putting the microphone in their face.
Lion seals. I'll be interviewing lion seals and asking the lion seal, how do you cook penguin just right? Barbecuing penguin.
Come on now.
I end up back in the United States. That will never happen.
Let them know. Let them know.
Who, not all, because you know, percent of all Americans, you can't hear me?
Now I can.
Okay, you know that 72% of all Americans aren't going anywhere. You know, they're going to die in a 50-mile radius of where they were born. So we know that stat is right there. So most people ain't going anywhere. And passport bros only make up a 9.1% of all men, just males, who own passports anyway. So we're not that prevalent and in fact impacting the world outside of YouTube itself anyway. But at the end of the day, there's enough of us leaving that it's noticeable. That's the part. It's
Very
noticeable.
But
It's
this is why it's noticeable. It because we ain't talking about the weekend warriors. We talking about the brothers who got their shit together. Brothers
True.
who eat, the older cats who got their pensions, got their government checks, social security, investments, or young brothers who decide to take destiny to their own hand, like Brother Austin, or brothers like Dre, who decided to reinvent himself after he got out the joint. See, we talking about brothers who got their shit together.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. Because when we leave, guess what? The money leaves with us. I haven't spent.
Money reside though. Where the money reside though? Overseas.
Listen, I haven't spent $1,000 in the United States in over 2 years.
Oh wow, that's more than what I spent when I was there for 2 days. I was supposed to be there, like I told y'all, I was supposed to be there for a week. I couldn't stomach it for 2 days. The third day, I was on the nearest plane. I thought, and Tampa was my favorite city, and I couldn't take my favorite city for 1 week. I was like, no, I'm out. I probably spent maybe $400 in those 2 days, and realized $400 was $400 too much, and so I was like, I'm gone.
I spend what I need, and I'm out.
I get back off when I get off the plane back here in the States. I don't spend $20 in 3 weeks.
Damn.
That's how bad I hate being back in the States. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to go nowhere. I don't want to see nobody. I don't want to talk to nobody. Other than bills. Other than bills. They got to be paid.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't going to nobody's fast food. I don't want to eat that because I've been eating arroz con habichuelas, and I've been eating, carne and chuletas. I've been eating that all the whole time I've been away. I gotta come over here and eat this bush that y'all got over here. I don't want that. Throw the whole plate away. You know what I mean? So I stay. I don't want to say I'm a recluse when I get back home, but I definitely don't want to see these. I
kid you not. This was my, and I can relate to you, Don. I tell you what my routine was. I get off, I leave campus, leave my job. I would go home. I would have my dinner ready. I knew Andrea was doing what she was doing, so we weren't doing video chats. This is my routine for about a good year and a half. I literally would set my cell phone up. Either I'm watching the Taylor Made Dreams live, Taylor Made Dreams video, Ace Live video, a Marwa video, or a Jabril, a Passport Heavy video every single night. The only time I watched anything else was if I'm watching maybe a basketball game or maybe some football, or my life was centered around relating to men that could relate to how I was feeling at that time period in my life. And nobody outside my front door could relate to me. My boys couldn't relate to me when it came to I want to travel the world and I want to do it. But these 4 men on YouTube every night, and there was some nights where I was like, man, I really want to go out there and just party, but it ain't worth it because I done learned from these dudes it's a waste of money, a waste of time. Andre, just stack your money, it's gonna be all right, brother. So I spent most of my time, I kid you not, man, not wasting money, but just learning from what these gentlemen were doing. I was like, if they could do it, I can do it. And now these guys are some of my best friends. But at that time period, I kid you not, man, that 2017-18 time period, early 2019, it was really just these men who I followed, and I didn't give anybody else any time because I was just like you, Don. I just wasn't comfortable in the States anymore. It wasn't my home anymore, and I wasn't gonna lie and fake and try. Maybe if I drink a little more, it's gonna be my home. Maybe if I go smoke a few more cigars, it's gonna be my home. Maybe if I go, smash a few more chicks, it's gonna be my home. None of that was working, so I stayed home. None of it was working. I was smashing through chicks. I say that's not making me feel good in the States. I'm sitting back with my cigars and my brandy. That wasn't making me feel good in the United States. I was making more money. That wasn't making me feel good in the United States. I'm driving in Florida with a convertible. That ain't feel good in the United States. The only time I had peace was when I was at home making my dinner before I called Andrea, but even before I met Andrea actually, and listen to what these men were saying about other countries and living in other countries and visiting other countries.
Let me
So
tell you something, though. Let me tell you something, Chopper Paul. Let me get on that though. Let me get on that right there. What Dre said. There are a couple of things. First off, let's think about the late great Luther Vandross, right? My brother said, "A house is not a home," right? That's what he told. A chair is not a chair. Come on. So what he was talking about, if nobody knows that song, well, that's a karaoke song for the best of them right there. But if you don't know that song, I advise you to go back and check it out though. Secondly, Chopper Paul, I got something Dre was saying and it hit me that I wanted to add to your list that you're making because I'm pretty sure this list can go down in history right now from everything that is being said by these gentlemen on this panel right now. I think we neglected one of the things based on what Dre said. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals or those who are high value. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals.
I'll say high value for sure.
Yep. Well, hopefully you are a high value. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, let's do that. Surround yourself with high value individuals. Yes, sir.
So I wanted to ask Dre and Russ, since the bitterness that's left behind in the Matrix took advantage of what's going on with Austin to link in every single brother who has traveled for their own reason, all under the guise that we're just mongering, we're sex tours or whatever. What would you guys add to this list, to the do's and don'ts abroad when traveling, especially as a weekend warrior, first time traveler, or an expat?
This is what I would say. Because I mean, let's just be responsible, all right, and take accountability. Now, Austin has said some incendiary thing about Black women in America, right? I don't let nobody do that on my show, and I correct cats when they do it. Because, like I said, I come from a Black mother. I got 2 Black daughters, got a Black sister, auntie. So I tell cats I don't date. I think the dating scene, the dating pool in America is toxic. I don't date in toxicity. But I think anybody who has to put down someone else to make themselves a little bit bigger is actually the smaller person. I think it wouldn't have went down as much in the US. Maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't have. But there's a lot of videos with incendiary comments about Black women. And, I've never heard Dre said, Black women are, I've never heard you say, Chopper, Black women are, there's a lot of cats who don't, Now, I'll say the dating, they'll say, dating in there is not, you know what I'm saying? Or, and I've said that, I think Black people are hurt in the United States. I think, that we all suffer from post-traumatic slave disorder, and hurt people, and I think that's the problem. But I would definitely say, if you're going to travel around the country, and even though I travel around, and people say, well, hey, how come you don't date American women? I say, I don't live in America. I stopped dating American women. I don't point it to a certain people. These Black women you can't, something. You can't do that. You can't do that. And I think that is one of the. I think that is why, you had all those vampires, who like to suck blood. I think that's why all those vampires jumped on that bandwagon because he's doing this internationally. And so now you got this solution who's been hovering for a problem because you at Mount Everest and there's no air up there. So I got to figure out a way to get some air. So some of that was invited. And anytime, man, that like I said, that you hover on something that's negative, it's usually going to come back and bite you. You know what I'm saying? It's just karma. But certainly, so that's the only mistake I could see the brother made. But if that's your feelings, that's your feelings. But like I said, I don't think it's a good idea to put that out. I don't think that's a good. Because like I said, man, I think as black people, we should do as less damage to each other as possible. Like if you look at some of these things, you know, Martin Luther King birthday, you know, celebration. I'm seeing, man, cats are sending me stuff on my IG, Facebook, you know, with these flyers or memes, or, you know, Martin Luther King with thick chains, inviting them to parties with you know, or they sung one with Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman. They look like they smoking hookah. I mean, what other race of people defile their leaders besides the black community? You certainly, and Brother O'Shea said it, and I agree with them. You certainly not going to see Jewish people defy their rabbis. You certainly not going to see people of Muslim faith, you know, defile, you know, their leaders. But black community, we do this, and then we start sending this out to other people, right? And I tell cats, man, be careful what you repost or what you retweet, you know, because all thing you're doing is is giving energy to that. And everybody who sent me something, I corrected their ass on the spot. I'm like, hey, don't send me the stuff like this. And this, they'll send me like LOL, and I'll say, how do you think this is funny? This is disgusting. You know, here's a man who died fighting for you to have the right that you have, to have some resemblance of respect. You know, you have people out there holding up signs, I am a man, to get recognized. And I said, but we do this. We defile each other. And I think one of the things we have to stop doing, I know I'm way off your question, is we got to stop putting each other down. We got to, we you know, like my mother used to say, whatever goes on in this house, stay in this house.
My mama used to use that one.
And we need to adapt that type of energy and that type of mindset when it comes to us. Yeah, we're gonna have inside fight. Yeah, we got colorism going. We got all that stuff. Yeah, but we don't have to put everything out to the world that you know that we are this, you know, we are this crazy people. And that's why, you know, I got problems with you know, when I hear black men calling each other the N-word. I got issue with it. You know, I got, you know, like I said, because, you know, and Dre, you travel, everybody on here travels, but you hear the white guys sometimes get comfortable even overseas because they think that's cool. And I've had to correct a few white people, even in Thailand, 2 guys. You know, we were hanging out, and I was saying, you know, some white guys, they put on some music, and they was like, man. Then after that, they was like, hey, they felt like, oh man, let me tell you about this N-word. And I'm like, whoa, no, not cool, bro. And they said, oh, I didn't know. I said, now you do. I said, not every black person want to hear that coming out of anyone's mouth. So I said, we good, but just don't say that around. You know, just don't say that around. So like I said, we got to get to a point, man, where we stop putting each other down to make a point. You know, if you're gonna make a point, like you said earlier, Chopper Pop, you said you don't have to bully somebody. If you want to debate something, debate it. But I certainly, man, don't have to, you know, to bully somebody, to put somebody down so I can stand on the pedestal. You know, I think that's one of the things. So you can phrase that any way you form. I know that was a long answer, but I think that's one of the things we need to do as black travelers, even when we go on overseas. And they were like, well, hey, there's a lot of beautiful black women in America. Yes, there is. I just don't date them. Yes, there is. You know, I don't hope, you know, you don't hear me talking about, oh, my ex-wife she was this, that, and the other. Maybe she was, but you know what I'm saying? I ain't got to put it out there like that.
That's a major.
We could put that into, you know, number 8 and number 10. And, you know, with his age, and I was saying when the live first started, he probably hasn't gone through what you have gone through at 23 or what Dre has gone through or I or myself has gone through in this day and age. So the experience is different. the situation awareness is different. But now he'll know that you are always, especially on this platform, you are always being watched by people who love you and people who hate you. And the ones
Always.
quicker to take actions will be the people who hate you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
You know me, I would add to that list winning Rome. We got to get back to understanding that we can't take all of that we are as Americans to every country and it's to be accepted. Yeah, we may notice that, for example, in Brazil, certain things are legal. But when in Rome, if the Brazilian guy shut his mouth about it and he just going to those same brothels, shut your mouth about it and go to them same brothels. When in Rome. When I'm driving here in Colombia, I remember when I first started driving, I'm jumping up and down. Every time they jump in front of the car, I'm jumping out the car. What y'all doing? Y'all can't got it. They looking at this crazy American. Every time. I mean, I probably did that about 5 times until I realized when in Rome, right? When in Rome. And now my driving experience has been peaceful. I understand the dynamics, like Russ say when he's driving in DR. I understand the dynamics of and what's expected when it comes to driving. Don't y'all realize there's lines in the streets? There's no such thing as lines in the streets in Colombia. You know they got the lines in the streets. That stoplight, that's only there for Christmas decoration. I understand that. But now I had to come to peace with no matter what country I go to, I have to understand when they're wrong. And I think a lot of times is that's one of the things that we're missing. Another thing I would add to the list, this is my final statement, is we need to shut the up.
Say that again.
We need to shut the heck up. We need to stop talking so much. We talk too much as black men. We're treating our WhatsApp groups and our Facebook groups and our Discord like we're in a barbershop. Remember in the barbershop, we could say anything. And then when the mothers will walk in with her son, we kind of like change the topic. And then when this little man get done with getting his hair cut and his mama leave, and then we go back to talking like dudes. We forgot how to do barbershop talk. Everybody should not know what the conversations are. I like what one dude said last night. He was criticizing Austin. He said, and I had to agree with him. He said, Passport Bros should be like Fight Club. What you talking about? Passport Bros. I don't know what you're talking about. What's this Passport Bros talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. It should be like Fight Club. But brothers talking too much, posting too much, bragging too much. You brag as if that was really your woman. You brag about not having a woman. You brag about it's just too much feminine energy is being spewed out there. We need to shut the heck up for at least 6. You know how in the movie with on Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad say for the next 90 days you're gonna be put in silence. And he just had Malcolm, no speeches, no nothing. That's what we need for the Passport Bro movement. We need to know, for 90 days, don't post nothing. Don't nobody control. That's your problem. You're talking too much. You're posting too much. You're putting too much. You're exposing too much. White boys been doing it forever. Asian dudes been doing so long. They got a custom throughout history called the geisha girls. They made it to a custom, and these ain't nothing but paid for plays. But you will never hear their business out there. We the only ones that's running off at the mouth. We need to shut the up. If I could just get more dudes to just be quiet about their business. And I tell you who I learned that from. You ready? This man that's right over here, Russ. Remember I said I was sitting up there all those days watching him. And I remember Russ had his first I think it was yacht party. Has anybody ever seen any footage of any of his yacht parties? Ever? Not one.
I never saw the old channel.
Walking on the deck. I ain't seen nobody getting on the boat or getting off. I didn't see anybody walk across the beach to a boat. Nothing. I have seen nothing of nothing. Russ had plenty of those parties. Why? Because he had men that knew how to shut the up.
Yeah.
And that's
And no, there's not even leaks. No, I'm actually surprised.
Nothing.
No,
All it ain't no secret videos coming out. Ain't no sex tapes came out. Nothing. I ain't, like I said, I ain't see somebody holding the camera down to their feet walking across the deck.
Well, I do know from watching Russ, he would say when he had parties at his crib,
people check their phones.
I thought they check their phones at the door, baby.
Yep.
Phones get checked at the door. And
all
so
and when I had parties outside, I had security walk around and they'll pull out a phone. Like we was at Oasis. They took the phone, deleted, then let's go into delete file because I know after you delete something, you gotta go in delete file to delete it. So now, no.
Just
you never say, "Oh, look at Russell, look at Dre."
Just to piggyback off what Dre was saying, there are two words that come to mind, and this is from a collegiate standpoint, from being in college. Two things I learned from a fraternity standpoint, and I personally treat Black men that travel as a fraternity. Okay. And the two things that we learned were deference and esoteric. Those are two words that literally, if I had to tattoo any word on my body, one would be on my left shoulder blade and one would be on the right. Deference and esoteric. If you don't know what those words mean, I'm just going to break it down slightly. Deference means you have to be humble. You have to have a humbling spirit as an individual in the world, because karma will allow you to be a better person if you know how to show deference. And that's just an energy thing in the world. Esoteric material is what Chopper Pa was talking about. Chopper Pa, can you flip to your bullet points, sir? I love bullet. You know me. You know how my channel is. I'm gonna throw you a PowerPoint in a minute, baby. It was number 10. We can put a gold star by number 10. Esoteric material does not always need to be released or shown. Esoteric, highly confidential. And that goes back to what Chopper Pa was saying. Join the group, join the club. You got 35,000 followers. I wish I did have 35,000 people following me. You know how much stuff I be dropping off in the join the club group for $4.99, or join the club group for $9.99, or here, hit this Patreon for $23.99. Man, what? Esoteric material belongs in those areas. And I don't think that's the one thing I don't think I think Austin did not. This thing hit him like a ton of bricks, and it hit him fast. The claim to fame hit him fast, but he didn't have time to think about the background that he needed to build up, the foundation he needed to build up as a YouTuber. It's kind of like with Dre. I think the first time when we got in the chat, you told me about the Mostly Money, and you told us about how Mostly Money, you went to bed one night and you woke up and that joint hit 6 digits. And you were like, oh, what are we supposed to do now?
Yeah.
Like, now I gotta go. It's go time now. And I don't think I literally, he didn't have the opportunity to watch your, that commentary that you gave. And so jumping from where he was to where he is now, did he have time to set up his foundation to help him grow as a YouTuber, as a content creator? Probably not. And so not by not having that team assembled. Hey man, I'm out here blowing up. I'm the face of this channel. I need you, Jerome, to set this up. I need you, Leon, to do this right here. I need you, Tyrone, to do this right here. If he'd have had a team assembled to set up that foundation, man, do you think we'd be having this conversation right now? I
But you
think,
have
I still, at the end of the day, I believe in teams, bro. And teams are beneficial to success.
But and I concur with you 1000%, except for, and I think I can say this on this channel because it's among us, among family.
Mhm.
Many of us have already had behind the scenes discussions with a lot of the younger dudes in regards to everything that you were just saying. And
Yeah.
I think what was missing is, and the questions that I even asked on another answered on another live stream is, well, where were you guys? Why didn't you older gentlemen? Why didn't you? It's like, wait a minute, just because you don't see it, because we older dudes, we ain't telling our business like that, or who we talk to, or who we have telephone call with. Guys didn't even know that I even knew Austin for the longest. So at the end of the day, even though us older dudes may have circled the wagons or led the horse to water, we already know what the rest of that parable is. So that's a part that has to be taken into the narrative too. That's kind of sad. That if let me ask you this: at 23, would you have taken that advice that you just gave at 23?
Hell no.
Thank you. Not now. You got the point of what we saying with Austin and the other young dudes.
No.
You got the money that's flowing in. You no longer a barber in Houston in the hot.
We winning, baby. We winning.
Kids no more. You ain't got to worry about no mamas hitting on you and none of that.
Dre,
You got mamas around the world hitting on you now.
When I was 23,
you got notoriety, and we talk about in less than 4 months. This brother's been
right,
and
I'm telling you, in a
put
year,
up that TikTok video,
right?
So now at 20,
I thought I was making 48. When I was making $48,000 at 23, you couldn't tell me. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Yeah, he probably making 48 way faster than I made 48. You know what I'm saying? So no, I know he was not. He didn't have time to think. That's the thing. And when people say, "Yo, the old Jeezy," bro, I wish I could have said, "You don't want to end up like I did. I want to pull the old Eddie Kane type."
Bro, all of us did. Many of us already did to many of these young content creators, and especially also Don Omar and gentlemen, we got to accept the fact this ain't our generation.
They different, bro.
These kids don't listen to nobody. Ain't no respect.
And everything has to be broadcasted.
Yeah, but when I had a conversation, when I did an interview with the brother, I asked him, how does he stay level-headed? Does he have anybody in his camp that's going to tell him the truth? And he says, nah. He says, but I got experience and I stay pretty level-headed, and because of my experiences and all that. I mean, yeah, he said he has one person that tells him the truth. But I said, but how do you stay level? That was a question. How do you stay level-headed? Mm-hmm. And he says, nah, I'm not worried about that. I'm pretty level-headed. I said, ask him a question. I said, have you ever had the platform you had now? No. Have you ever had the attention that you have now? No. I said, it's coming. That's all I said. It's coming. Mm-hmm. I said, because you in a whole nother world that you never been in.
Right.
You're on a whole nother planet.
Real fast.
I said, you're on a whole nother planet.
And
all,
yeah.
And all I said was, it's coming.
Biggie said he said more money, more problems, baby.
Yeah. But one thing I think you need to put in there also on that chart is don't try to blend in, but remember where you are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, for the longest time, Black folks are the only people that tell people we need to blend in.
But
Chinese people don't try to blend in.
Right.
And then,
You right. You can't blend in.
Yeah, the Indian people don't try to blend in. And guess what? Like you said, Proof, I call him Proof. You cannot blend in. And no matter how much you think you can blend in, when shit hit the fan, you'll find out how much even like the people that you super cool with, that's Brazilian, Dominican, Thailand,
Colombian.
Colombian. Oh, you find out how much you're not. I ain't saying everybody gonna turn on you, but I can't help you.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you ain't even gotta be overseas. So in the state of North Carolina, we have this tribe, this Native American tribe called the Lumbee Indians, right? This is down 95 near Bennettsville, South Carolina, right there in Pembroke, in Lumberton. And I, had a couple of friends growing up that were Lumbee Indians. Now, granted, this ain't really like federal. They ain't federal. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there right now. But at the end of the day, you could go hang out with them, try to be, so-and-so's best friend, this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, you are a black man trying to hang with some Native Americans, which they really won't even, to this day, they ain't real. I mean, I'm going to say that right now. I don't care where I'm at. I'm going to call them what they are. They ain't real. They think they are, but they ain't federal, right? They're not recognized. But they're going to let you know quick, oh, you a black man.
Yeah, but this is the thing.
Black man marrying my Lumbee daughter or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna get it here, you gonna get it everywhere, baby. So ain't no trying to blend in.
But see, this is the thing. You got all these other people trying, basically what I call culture vultures. Everybody want to listen to hip hop music. Everybody wants swagger black people. Mm-hmm. Everybody want, want to steal our inventions. They want that black culture. I just don't want to be black, especially a black man. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody wants the swag, because I don't care where you go in Thailand. It's hip hop, it's R&B. That's all they play. Okay, right? And same thing everywhere else I've been in the world. When I was in Egypt, I heard hip hop music. When I was in freak, and this is like early stage of hip hop. Like we talking like, mid and late 80s. They had underground music. How the hell they get that? Israel, same thing. You go all through Europe, ain't nothing but hip. But everybody wants that black culture, right? Which is created mostly by black people and a lot of black men, hip hop. But nope. But we the boogeyman for everything. Mm-hmm. Everybody want to be you, and I don't want to be you. I just want everything else. I want everything else that you have, but I just don't want to be you. It's like a question I asked my ex-wife one day when our marriage was kind of on the mend. I said, could you imagine what we have now? We just brought a house from the ground, had a house built from the ground up, right? Designed it ourselves. In nice, prestigious neighborhood. I said, do you ever wonder, like, not being married to me and having this by yourself? You ever wonder that? And she looked at me and she was trying to figure out, should I answer honest or should I tell him what he wants? And she said, yeah, I do. I said, yeah, me too. It's like, because it got to the point where, yeah, I want everything else that we built together. I just don't want you right now. But I want everything else. I just don't want you. You see what I'm saying? But black culture has influenced the globe. They dance to our music every night. They drink to our music every night. They celebrate to our music every night. They get married to our songs every day. I just don't want to be you.
And I think that's one of the things that we forget on a global scale, even as content creators, our power of influence as black people. It doesn't just stop with hip hop or our clothing. We have a responsibility to notice that we do influence people on social media, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. Now you got white dudes want to be passport bros instead of being a manosphere dudes. They like, I ain't even trying to deal with the manosphere thing. I'm gonna just get out. I'm doing what the brothers are doing. You got Asian dudes that's coming to Colombia in record numbers because they trying to do what they see the brothers are doing. So just like you saying, they don't want to be us, but they are influenced by us, whether we as males or as people acknowledge it or not. And that's another thing that's kind of disappointing the women in the States. I'm gonna say this last thing about the women in the States in regards to and I'm not talking about black or white.
Yeah.
People always talk about who Austin Holloman is. Rarely do you hear anybody ask the question what Austin Holloman is. I'm gonna say that again. People always say who he is, but rarely do people talk about, and I thought about this earlier today when I was talking to Austin. Very few people talk about what Austin Holloman is. This young man is an offspring of the mouthiness that a lot of men are tired of hearing. He's an offspring of, he's tired of the economic system. He's the offspring of men being tired. He's a what he is as well as a who he is, just like all of us are that are traveling and getting our passports. It's not just about the what. He's an offspring of all this stuff. So all you ladies that's coming at this dude, y'all do realize he's an offspring of all the men that's tired of all you ladies is going on YouTube. You're really showcasing why these men are getting their passports, because soon as something happens, you come on the attack mode, and these men are like, you know what? I'm nothing but an offspring of your mouthiness, your attitude, the fact that I have to overspend to get some of your attention, the fact that I got to talk to 10 of you just to get one of you to say hi or smile, the fact that, you know, he's an example of, or he's a what or offspring. And this is something that these women don't want to admit, that he's right. The fact that he's saying it and how he's going about saying it is absolutely wrong. But can we say as black men that we haven't already said what he's saying in the barbershops? If you really want to say something for real, Austin is an offspring of all the barbershop conversations he was hearing while he was cutting heads in our community. If y'all want to be real with it, this brother sat back when he started cutting heads at 20, 19, whatever age he was cutting heads. All he heard was the real conversation of older black men, of older white men, of younger black men, and all that we go through in relationships, and then his own little experience. So all of us are an offspring of the facts that have already been spoken in barbershops across the country. No matter what barbershop you go in, men are having conversations about the race of women that they have to deal with in their communities. So therefore, and dudes like me and some of you other guys that don't care about the color of the person that you're dating, you still have issues. I done dealt with some mouthy Italian women, just like I done dealt with some Asian girl thought she all hood. She got a mouth about her. And so I take my story to the barbershop, and you take your stories to the barbershop. But then the next brother bring his stories to the barbershop. And Austin is hearing this. He's just hearing it. So when he gets a chance to escape at 23, all of the pain and the fact that all these men from different cultures of heads that he's cut, he gets a chance to escape it at 23. He's doing nothing but saying what he's been trained to hear by his ears from all what he's already heard in the barbershop. If you look at Austin, his maturity doesn't come from his age. His maturity comes in because he kind of almost like reverberates the maturity of the men that he was around in his barbershop. Austin has said nothing new that many of us men haven't already said in our barbershops for many a year about some of the situations that we've dealt with.
Yeah, but it's Western culture.
True.
It's Western culture.
Yep.
Have you ever dealt with a Russian woman?
Yeah, I have. Nothing like that.
Let me tell you, Russian women, they will, if you could ask a Russian woman out for a first date. Now, when you met her at the club, she was drinking beer, her and her friends. Now, when you take her out, she orders a bottle of champagne.
That's true.
You come back to the table, Who ordered champagne? Oh, I ordered a bottle. Hey, let's go to some Russian club and spend I don't know how much money, because I need you to get me drunk enough so we can go ahead and take care of business. I'm telling you, this is like, and I'm not trying to stereotype a certain group, but when you deal with enough of it's like this is like the norm. And it's like, well, hell, if I gotta spend this much money on you, I could have stayed in the fucking United States for this shit. You know what I'm saying?
But what was the upside? What was the upside though?
There's no upside. There's no upside.
I didn't spend that much money.
Oh
It-
man,
it-
I
it-
was
at-
waiting for that
at-
upside
at the
though,
end of-
man. I was waiting there.
At the end of the night, you don't spend hundreds of dollars, and you got to and you took a really drunk woman to bed. What's the upside? There's no upside.
Zero upside.
So I'm saying that to say, it's Western mentality. It's not because a lot of cats want to refer back to the United States. Listen, I've traveled all over the world. Lived in a couple of countries now. Trust me, that Western mentality, that Western feminism, that Western I'm entitled, that is spread like wildfire in Western society. Period. I don't care where you go. Western society is like that. French women, same thing. I'm telling you, man. So I've dealt with women from all over the globe, and that Western mentality, you're gonna wind up with the same thing. If you want a different mentality, like that's why brothers travel to places like Brazil, Philippines, Southeast Asia, Panama, different parts of the globe, because it hasn't infiltrated as much. As we see now, Brazil is kind of getting that infiltration, or you got a person with a mega microphone want to make sure we're gonna bring it in, and then I've learned that when you in different countries, man, laws are different from what you may say or do as let's say as a Dominican or Brazilian, and how it's applied to if a Brazilian or a Dominican says to do it. It's just different. Like and even in Brazil now they have and that's why I think you spot on Chopper Power when you tell guys don't be trying to bully this woman, because Brazil also has that law that if you try to bully somebody through cyber or if you say something derogatory against somebody, that you can it can be perceived as as harassment or abuse. So
Private chat.
Yeah.
Sorry. General.
Well, because like I said, Dominican Republic, man. Now Dominicans, all they do is yell, right? All they do is yell. But as a foreigner, a Dominican woman can bring you up on domestic abuse charges, not for hitting her, not for not for pushing her, not for even threatening her. Just a man and a woman in an argument, and you got to go to court, go see the magistrate on domestic violence. Because they'll walk and say, oh, his yelling at me gave me psychological damage. It's crazy, which no other Dominican would ever have come to the magistrate office about that. But like I said, there's laws against that, man. You can have a kid overseas. If a woman at DR or some of these other countries side, or Philippines side, you don't. Oh, I don't want to be bothered with it. You're not gonna see this kid no more, bro. They could go in the province and guess what? The authorities ain't looking for them women. They don't give a shit.
Even down here, if the woman doesn't have a record and it's not a major crime, they letting her go. Or if they do arrest her, they letting her go within a couple of hours. And dudes be like, they want that American justice down here in Colombia. Like, we're not a prison country like that. We're not taking, we don't make money like the United States does, the Western countries do.
That's what I wanted to get at.
imprisoning people.
Right.
Is it
And so,
prioritized
since
like
they
it
don't
is
make
in
no
the
money,
States?
if it's not any major crimes, they don't get
The only
involved.
time the laws are, the only time the governments are like hands on. Let's get involved with this. If it involves you, the foreigner, because now I get some money out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the other person, like I said, hell, you seen it. My house got burglarized. They caught the guy. Went down there, identified the guy. Guy, had proof that he did it. But they said, oh, the guy's poor. I said, if you don't prosecute him, I said, well, you the prosecutor, prosecute him. You got to go pay an attorney. Ask an attorney, well, listen, I want to prosecute somebody, $3,000, not pesos. So I'm telling you, man, that's why I tell cats, man, when you live in these countries, you will have the greatest time. You can live in them for 20 years. Just don't ever get caught up in that system. Because once you get caught up in that system, bro, it just, trust me, you will find out how many rights you don't have. And you're the victim. Right? They didn't even talk about somebody who committed a crime, right? That's a whole nother story.
And you know
We're
what,
talking about the victim of a crime.
And you know what, Unc? I know you say you spoken to Austin. My gripe with him is that when he chose Brazil, he had to have been more aware of what was going on around him. It only took me one day of being on Tinder to see exactly what type of environment I'm in. I'm in an environment of, like I said, Brazil and Latin America, and let me know if you agree with this. Agree with me, Unc. Brazilians in all of Latin America are the most open-minded.
Yes.
In all the cultures.
Yes,
right?
I agree.
So now, when I'm on Tinder and in the bios, I'm seeing one word come up, every few swipes, and it's feminista, feminist. I already know. I'm saying to myself up here, okay, I can't move a certain type of way here. I can't say certain things here. I can't project myself certain things here unless I come across the women who shares the ideals that I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, without Austin not knowing that where he is, mix that in with the political stuff that's going on in the country right now, he walked into a hornet's nest.
Yeah,
with that.
But Dave Chappelle put it best. Dave Chappelle said he looked up the word feminist. Feminist only means that it says anyone. It doesn't say a male or female. It doesn't say a woman. It doesn't say a guy, older man, younger woman. It says anyone who wants to protect the rights of women, right? Plain and simple, anyone. So I could be a feminist. I want to protect the rights of women. I have, like I said, I got a daughter, all you gentlemen, y'all not, you're not out there doing things against women. Andre, I know you protect your beautiful wife at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
So, they wanted, so the word feminist, if you believe it or not, that actually got hijacked. Because a feminist can be anybody. But because feminine, because it starts out with that female word, short for female, feminist, it's our thing. It's sort of like the civil rights. How it started off as a black thing, and now there's more people who benefit off civil rights, and then blacks ever benefit. We are ever going to benefit from civil rights. So it's just crazy. How people want to, And a lot of times, man, it's about riding, you know, what's ever hot. And right now, this whole feminist movement is just a hot thing right now. It's a hot thing. And like I said, now when I was at last time I was in Brazil was in 2019, you had a lot of women who would tell you, Brazilian women would tell you, I'm not no feminist. I don't believe in that crap. They would tell you, I don't believe in it. You know, and they would see it from the lens of how American women were using that word feminist. And the Brazilian women I'm telling you, 2019 would tell you, that's not me. That's not me. You know,
is it a different type of feminist rhetoric, or like agenda? Do they have a different agenda than the feminist agenda that we have here in the States?
Well, a feminist in some countries is basically a protector of women's rights and you know and standing up like for women, you know, laws that are specific for women to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But in the United States, it went a whole new level.
Okay.
It's like, you know, because women always say they want to be equal until I'm a woman.
Uh-oh.
Don't forget the Me
I
Too.
want equalness until I'm a woman.
Don't forget Me Too.
Yeah.
What about the he, she, bees, pronouns and thems and
the alphabet community. Yeah. It's like, and that's Dave Chappelle pointed out too. He said he can't rock with him. He says because you want to be LGBT until it no longer fits. Then it's I'm a white man. I'm a white woman.
Uh-oh.
You know? Yeah, you categorize me in the alphabet community, but it ain't working right here. So now I'm gonna use I'm a white man. I'm a white woman.
Let me ask you this.
I'm a black woman. Now what?
Let me ask you this, brother Russ and brother Dre. You know, hey, I hate to say it, I love presentations. Pull up the presentation, brother Chopper Pop. Let's put these seasoned gentlemen. I don't like to say old. I like to say seasoned gentlemen. Let's get them on the list here. Let's. What are y'all? I know y'all got something to add to this list, and the numbers don't mean a thing. By the way, I just want to put that out there for the for Chopper Pa's list here. I don't want people to think that the numbers mean that this is in order, because he can go back and readjust his order, and I guarantee you, at the end of 2023, this list needs to be emailed to every passport bro in the nation, in the world. And if the crack commandments, like Biggie said, they need it, you know, and it needs to be a Bible that they read and they take tutelage under it and make sure that before I get off the plane, let me make sure I read all these commandments. Let me know my Easter speech, which is all of these commandments prior to me getting off this plane, so that I don't have to end up in a situation. So my words to Uncle Russ, my words to the benevolent speaker, the preacher, Coach Dre. What can you all add to this list for Brother Chopper Pop? And I ain't want to put you on, but I'm thinking just like anything that you think that may not be on this list that you would want to add to this list that we have not covered already. I think you said a lot. You might know something.
Yeah. Also, I don't. I'm going down the list, and what I am not seeing is no matter where you go, remember you're taking you with you. If you ain't right in the States, you ain't gonna be right in Russia. You ain't gonna be right in Japan. You ain't gonna be right when you go to the Philippines. You know you're a dirty dude. And no matter where you go, all of a sudden you're not gonna be holding the Bible as soon as you land in Botswana. That's not gonna happen, bro. You a low down, dirty dude. If you're a good man and act like you got some sense, you're respectful, and you act like you got some sense when you was in the States, and you attracted women that like men that had sense in the States, you're gonna attract that in another country. You may go nobody attracts all perfect people, but what I'm saying, because no people are perfect, but what I'm saying is, remember, it's you that you're taking to these other countries, and that's why I'm an advocate of not everybody needs to have a passport. It ain't all about the pookies. It's some brothers with dollars that need to keep their butt in the States, because it's some dudes that got dollars and do some dangerous things in the States when they got dollars, and you let them go international with some of that behavior, and it ain't gonna turn out right, because we done read enough stories about women in other countries that have done things to men, but there are a few articles that have also come out about some men that have gone to other countries and done some things to women. So who you are is going to go with you. Always remember that. So if you know that you really deep down inside that you a grimy dude, like I said this last episode on Mostly Money, if you know that you a good dude, you got good opportunities. But if you're a grimy dude, get yourself together before you leave the States, and then use your passport, because that you is going to go with you.
Yeah.
Come on now.
And
Yeah.
I would like to add to that. Use your resources, because you don't know it all. Do you know how many calls when I was in DR I used to get from cats who got in trouble? And this is the crazy part. You had my number before this hit the fan.
Come on now.
So why didn't you call me before it hit the fan, but you wait till it hit the fan to call me? I don't understand that. When you could use your resource to say, not a good idea, go the other way. If it's gonna cost you 2,000 pesos, give 2,000 pesos. Have a good night. Or a lot of cats, man. Like I encourage dudes, man, get consultations. I said, look, if you're going to Brazil, call Chopper Pop. If you're going to Colombia, give Dre a call. If you want to know something about DR or whatever, give me a call. Give somebody else a call. You want to know Thailand, give Richie Mack a call. Listen, that little bit of money you spend might save you a lot of bit of money later. Because I've seen cats, man, just because they call you at a point where ain't nothing I can do for you. Especially, man, it like I said, it just blows my mind when cats have you have resources. You have my number, you have Dre number, but shit go crazy in Colombia. Dre may be 10 minutes from you, but you in the police station calling Dre now when he could have gave
Dre,
you
can I
some
get
advice.
500? Hey, Dre, I need 500. I need 500, Russ. I need 500, Dre. I need 500, Chop. I'm down here at the police station. I got the other 2, but I need another 500 to get up out of the situation.
Bro.
Hold on, fellas.
You know how many times I've got dudes that have hit me up for money, so they got the flight to get back home because they got a round trip ticket. But you know how many dudes have hit me up because they ran out of money and they got no money to eat with, no money to pay for a taxi ride to the airport.
Or some chick that robbed them.
Or somebody that got them. Dude, I had one dude get robbed the day of how I warned him what not to do. He literally did it and got robbed. He literally it wasn't even 2 hours later.
Did he do one of your consultations?
No.
Oh, interesting.
Look, Dre, I could beat you.
No.
I had a cat, picked him up from the airport, right? And we out. He's like, man, let me buy you a drink. Okay, so he's ordering Johnny Walker. He's slamming them shots back. Right? Slamming. And I'm like, yo, dude, you've been here 10 minutes and took 6 shots. Oh man, I got this. Man, Russ, I know you ain't sitting there gonna count my drinks. I said, bro,
Oh man, I think I heard that story before, but I think they were at Europa. I'm just gonna fill
Oh,
in
you
like
hear me now?
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
sorry.
okay, you back. Okay.
So I tell the cat, yo, brother, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon and you slamming these drinks like crazy. And he's like, man, I got it. So
He
I
drinks
hung
for
out
coffee.
maybe.
Oh man.
I think his phone died. Shout out to Joe O with the super chat though. He says,
There you
"How
go.
about it doesn't look right? Move on. Don't pick up and commit a crime." I saw a video last night with roll the tape and it disturbed me. Video was taken down today. Yeah, man.
Mm.
What's I don't know what it is in this day and age with guys feeling the need to even go as far as incriminate themselves on the internet.
They didn't learn from Bobby Shmurda. They didn't learn from Bobby Shmurda. Yeah. Oh man.
Mm,
Come on, man.
yeah, yeah. Now,
Go back to
but
that story, because you was getting
all
into
right.
it.
So anyway, he's slamming, right? So we 2 hours and he's already like, half drunk. And he's talking this and he's inviting these like Dominican cats, like right off the street, the motor contra guy. Come on, have a drink. I said, bro, mistake. Big ass mistake. Don't do that. Nah. I see these guys and they come. I said, look, all right, because I'm out. I said, I'm out. You all right? Says, yeah. So he had a bag. He had some. I said, listen, man, you got your passport stuff. I said, listen, let me at least take you to your room. Put that away. You don't need to carry a passport. Just take a picture of it. No, I got that. So he had some extra bread, right? So he exchanged some money, but then he kept some dog. And I'm like, dog. I said, let's take this to. No. I'm watching, right? So when I left, because I knew the guy was gonna be in trouble, right? So he had money in his pocket. He, had his keys and some other stuff. I took his bag. Because I know he about to get robbed. I already knew it. Right? So the next morning, I drive to Dude's hotel, right? I'm not going to the door. What's up, bro? He said, man, Russ. Man, I can't believe this. Man, I can't believe this shit. I said, what? What's going on? He said, man, I got robbed. I said, when did you realize you got robbed? He said, I got this morning, man. I looked for my phone. I had my phone. He said, I ain't got the others. He said, yo, man, they took everything, man. They took everything. They even took some sneakers that I had. I just brought those sneakers, man. And my jewelry, everything is gone. I said, bro, what did I tell you? He said, no, man, I should have listened. I said, hold on. So I went back to my car. Brought him his bag. I said, they ain't take everything. I took something before they took every goddamn thing.
Come on now.
And he looked at me and he said, you took my bag? I said, bro, you didn't even know I took your bag. I'm telling you, I told you I'm taking your bag. And you just did like this. I said, dude, you hanging out with those motor contra guys? I said, they gave you a ride back then. They said, yeah, man, but it was early. It was only like maybe 6:30. And I said, what'd you do? He said, I passed out. I said, yeah. And that's what happened. They took everything, went through the guy's suitcase, took some clothes, every freaking thing.
So,
but good thing.
Can we talk about that real quick? Yo, go ahead, Russ. Go ahead.
Yeah, but good thing I had his passport.
Okay.
I had the money that he didn't get exchanged.
Okay.
And then some other little things that he had in there, that didn't really mean anything. Gave the guy back his bag. And he's like, man, I don't even know what to say, man. I don't even know what to say. He said, if you wouldn't have took that, man, everything would have been. I said, bro, I told you was in trouble when you started inviting those motor contra dudes to come and hang out with you, start buying them drinks. I said, all you basically told them was you're a victim. I'm waiting for you to rob me. I said, and they did their job. They did their job. They did their job.
Yes, they did.
They absolutely did their job. Then come to find out when I went back to the bar, because I normally hang out at that bar, right? Ramona's place. Okay. She said that your friend left. He owed me some money. He said he didn't have any more money.
I'm sorry. Is
that Europa?
Okay. Yeah.
And she said, I know he was a friend of yours. That's why I said, okay. He said, it wasn't much, maybe 4,000 or 5,000 pesos. But she said he kept drinking. She said, I kept telling him. She said, she says, Russell, she said, I never tell nobody to stop. She said, I had to keep telling him to stop. But he kept like giving up money. Then he was just ordering drinks, and then he was ordering drinks for everybody else. So I went back to his room, got $100 from him, came back and gave it to her. But yeah, man, I mean, just stupid stuff. Not even listening. I'm telling the cat, you're gonna get robbed. These guys are gonna set you up. I got it, man. And then talking about, man, because when I try to tell him, he's like, man, Russ, I'm a grown man, man. Yeah, I got this, bro.
I hate you with that. Oh man.
When somebody tell me I'm a grown man, I'm out. And then I said, man, I'm getting your bag. And he was like this. I grabbed the bag. I knew he was gonna get robbed. He was gonna get robbed.
Let me. I want to. I'm doing my. I've learned from the best. I've learned from Andre Spence here, and I take my notes as people talk. So I have my. I'm ready, baby. I learned from the best now. So Uncle Russ stated that this gentleman had, I just bought these brand new shoes. Oh, I got my jewelry. I got all these things with me. When you get back, Chopper Pie, I feel like we need to add this. We need to add. Why are you bringing your valuables overseas when you don't live overseas, younger? Why are you doing that to yourself? Who does that? I'm not bringing my high value stuff to another country when I know I want to wear that high value stuff back home. Now, go robbed anyway. Don't get me wrong. You'll get robbed anyway.
No, go one step further.
Okay.
Because I would say if you have anything of high value that you are not going to use, even if you move to that country, leaving a safe deposit box.
Come on now,
back in your states
at the bank.
No,
like they used to do.
Yep, get a safe deposit box at the bank.
Like Batman did, like his daddy and them did.
They took my whole goddamn safe. So
come on,
I'm telling you.
Let me tell you something. Let's talk about it. Let's go a little deeper because we're talking about the do's and don'ts of what you shouldn't do in Latin America. I think this is the do's and don'ts when you travel, like what you should do and not do. And this goes back to the concept of what Russ was talking about. And I like to always go back to the video, the documentary on how to sell the Negro. How to sell the Negro, right? The Negro wants to have the flashiest things. We've got to have the name brand things. Everywhere I go, I got to have the name brand, the best of the best, the creme de la creme when I step out, right? Okay, cool. Ain't nobody mad at you. But, and I ain't gonna pocket check nobody. I ain't watching nobody's pocket. If that's how you float, hey man, do you, baby. Me, on the other hand, I'm an economical type of guy. Okay. I'm going overseas. I ain't taking my $1,400 bottle of cologne with me. It's not what I'm doing. Now, if I make $7.3 million, I'm taking my $1,400 bottle of cologne. Because I make 17, whatever, million. But if I don't make that, if I'm making $48,000 a year, right? And I got a $1,400 bottle of cologne, one $1,400 bottle of cologne. I'm gonna do like Chris Rock. I'm gonna squirt about 3, 4, 5, 7 pumps into a 3-ounce joint. I'm gonna take me a little 3-ounce joint of that because I'm a weekend warrior, I'm about to be out here for 72, and the first 48 is real. That's what they always tell me. So I'm gonna take that them 3 ounces. I'm gonna put them in 2 little valves, right? I ain't taking the whole joint, putting it in my checked luggage, because half the time, if you ain't got no lock on your checked luggage, when you get your luggage, you open it up, don't. Depending on where you're flying to, I ain't gonna talk about those spots, but I know some spots. So why you taking your good stuff overseas? Man, if it was me, and this is just me, if I ain't moving overseas, if I'm just going to travel for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, a couple of months, I'm not trying to bring any extra attention to me. I'm not out here with the iPhone 23. You know, I know they ain't got like a 13 or 14 or something, but I ain't gonna have the iPhone 23 out there with a 72-inch screen. I'm at the intersection. You know what I'm saying? Look at me at the intersection of, you know, Joselito and you know, Cristobal Colon. You know, I'm out here, got it all out. You know, I'm not. If I got an iPhone 23, you don't think I got an iPhone 7? You don't think I can't put something on that iPhone 7 and I can bring that iPhone 7? So when I lose the iPhone 7, I'm gonna be like, man, they took my iPhone 7. Bro, I got the iPhone 23, you know, back at the crib. I'm good to go. I can go out here to the store, get me a little Nokia, you know, a little flip phone with a chirping Jones, you know, whatever. I can get one of them Jones, you know, $49.99. I'm good to rock while I'm there. Happened, true story, happened to me in Panama. I got you know, when I was studying abroad in Panama, I was a little Austin Holloman-ish. I was you know, a little belligerent out in the streets of Panama City in my young age of 20, 23, 24. I mean, that's why I said I don't knock the brother at all. I've been there, but minus the social media aspect. Man, I was out in the streets, and cops ran up on me, you know, frisked me a little bit. I get back to the crib. Where's my phone? They got me. The cops got me, bro. It won't even know. It ain't gonna be like it ain't gonna be nobody running up on you with no guns. It could be the cops getting up on you. So some people don't realize, everybody, you know, you gotta realize where you at all times. You gotta recognize your surroundings, bro. And I did not, but I learned from that day. You know what I mean? And I, like I said, if we bring this back to, you know, Austin, he learned from those days. He's learned. Yeah. There's no need to kick a dead man or kick a man when he's down, or kick a horse. You know, what do they call it? What is the thing with the horse? You know what it is. But there's no need for us to continue getting on a young brother because he made 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. It doesn't matter. He's young. That's what we do. Because there's a saying in the South, and I don't know if y'all know it up north. Young, dumb, and full of, come on.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
We said that. And no, yeah.
And it's okay. I was that.
We all were that.
I was that guy. You know. And I don't know if they use that now in the young world, you know, with these young kids. I don't know if they use that. I don't know if he's even, you know, around as far as terminology. But that's what he is. And it's okay to me. Because I once was there. And I know what it feels like. Now, granted, I wanted Brazil. I wish I was at 23. You know what I mean? I didn't venture that far. I was a little afraid. So I commend the guy for stepping out there and going that far. You know, and so for him to do what he's done and to make the mistakes, there are many of us that can't even make those mistakes. Because we're too scared to get off our mama's couch or our mama's teeth. I ain't gonna talk about nobody. But they don't want to go too far away from their mama teeth or their mama couch. Because they too scared to get that far away. They're not gonna admit it to me and you.
No.
But no, deep down inside, some of them ain't ready to get out there in them streets. On their own.
No.
On my own. And I'm gonna stop right there.
Hey, I gotta get ready to go, guys.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah, me too. It's 2:24 a.m. I just wanted you guys to have your
man, it's time to go to sleep. You good, baby.
I know it's very important for YouTube and the community to hear what you guys had to separately say on the subject and to give your own input on the do's and don'ts. We're not just traveling to Latin America, but just traveling in general and living in general. So it was very educative. So I didn't want to cut you guys off, but thank you. It is late. 3-hour live, 224 here in Brazil. Listen, y'all, whatever y'all got from the drama that's unfolding, no bottom feeders to Brazil. Don't come to Brazil fucking shit up, please. Don't turn Brazil into another DR. That's all I'm asking you guys. I just got here. Come on, this is why we can't have the good shit. This is why we can't have the good shit. Like Eddie Murphy and Beverly Hills Cop 2 at the Playboy Mansion. Go home, everyone. He just fucked it up for everybody. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Go to the places that are already sinking. But don't come sink Brazil.
Oh, man. Hey, don't go to Cali, Colombia, yo. That's what they say.
Just you come here after about 2 years, I'm gone. Y'all can do what you want with it.
2025, right? 2025.
A year and a half, I'll be gone. I already have my citizenship too. I can do what y'all want with it. I'll be in the coffee region when I come back. So yeah.
Oh man. Pereira. Don't tell them what the city is now. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna say nothing. Don't tell them nothing now. We're not gonna tell them nothing.
Gentlemen. I'm up out of here. You guys have a great night.
Hey man, I'm out too, man. I enjoyed it.
Peace, Jets.
Thank you, guys. All right, y'all. So, damn, my light went off on the camera, so that's how you know it's time to go. It's been a pleasure. I hope you guys found this video informative. Don't come to Latin America and fuck it up. Don't go to other parts of the world and fuck it up. Austin, keep your head up. Stephanie, calm down. Let's beef more drinks. All right? What do you think about that? Let's beef more drinks. Find your beach, everyone.